What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players, to another installation of the Siege Double Tuck Shot. Tonight, it's the PAC Premier Group Stage Playday 2. I am the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me, as always, my partner and co-host, Mr. Whiskey Run. Say hello, Whiskey.
Welcome, everyone. Like you said, the PAC Premier Spring tournament here, and we're bringing you 3 games tonight. We're bringing you the HELLCAT boys versus Coastal Gaming, Team Sesh versus Coastal Gaming in a solid doubleheader here, and then Temper versus Task Force 141. We got a little bit of a late start trying to get ourselves set up for production in what is our first cast in this new league. So looking forward to it. There's a lot of names that you are going to see and recognize from these teams, and we'll go through those standings in between the next game because this first one is ready to go, my friend.
Hey, well, then let's send it. And you said it's onto a classic map with classic strats. We watched it last night on the channel, and we're going to watch it again today. It's Oregon, my friends, and if you've ever played a match of Siege, you've probably played it here.
That's right, Oregon, this is it. I think there it is. Oregon, how many times have we had a chance to cast it? 85 times we casted Oregon in 2023, and I'm not even counting in 2024 yet because we've done a pretty successful job at making sure that these teams were okay to ban it out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, folks, we're going to get into it. They're best of ones this evening, so these are going to fly by, so pay attention because the strats, they're happening quick. The bloodlust, it's real. Everybody trying to make a name right now. And there'll be some names on here that you know. This is going to be a very fun cast. Let's get into the bands. Whiskey, it's Oregon. What are you thinking we're going to be seeing here?
Okay, so Oregon, talk about that extension clear is the possible changeup, right? I think the standards are Ying and Dokubi continuing on attack, but Thatcher or Flores have been the off bands we've seen occasionally for Oregon.
Well, look at that. You got it on try number 1. Ying, you just don't want to have to deal with those dang Candelas, man. They're absolutely devastating. Going to be first off the board. And if I had to guess, I'd say you're probably correct on the Dokubi call next. It's the DMR. It's the phone ring. It's the cams. It's absolutely huge. Oh! Okay. It's the ace man. A little bit of the off pick here.
It's... Whoa! We're gonna lose one. Oh, potentially the lobby crashing. So let's see if we can go and finish out the map ban before we jump ourselves into what is the first and hopefully last rehost of the evening, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the
Solace
greatest
next to fall. She's
moment
huge.
in
That
my
gadget you can
life,
see
bro.
all the way across the map. The off pick here on the ace, it's a fun call. What does that mean? That means you either have to play Habana or you're either going to have to play Thermite, which is much more up close and personal when trying to get that breach opened up. Okay, folks, so just give us a second here. We're going to get a quick rehost in, get it out of the way. That way we don't have to deal with them later. Sit back, relax, fill your drink to the tippy top, because when we come back, it's going to be map number 1. Ayo.
Let's go. Welcome back, everyone. So, a little bit of a delay there. We saw the lobby crash for everybody in the middle of the bans. So the nice part is that we're going to continue to keep those bans in place. So the piece, if you're just joining us, what we didn't see was Ying, Ace, Solus, and Fenrir banned. And that Ace was definitely the interesting one. We talked about whether or not Flores could have been the guy. Could have had someone else jump in there for that interesting ban here on Oregon. The Ace, Hard Breach, we've seen some teams move towards Hard Breach as a possible alternative ban. The other thing we're going to see here as we start this game is that my co-caster, normally Whiskey Glitter here with me for all of our matches, had a bit of an IRL issue. So we're going to go ahead and start the game to make sure we don't keep the players or the fans waiting any longer. But as soon as he is back in, rest assured, he'll be joining me for the cast for sure.
5 seconds remaining.
Interesting one we're seeing. The Doc brought out. Not very often here for that 2F site. But here, the HELLCAT boys bringing him out to start with. Look for this attacking team heading for a small tower side take. And the Coastal Gaming team is a group that we've seen as part of a few members of the Godspeed team, who we saw win a grand final just at the end of 2023. So a team that can play very well together, and a few of the members that have also we've seen in Skyline Gaming. We saw Recited take the 2v and been a part of the 3v3 tournament winners there for Skyline Gaming as well. So a group of players together that should be potentially very dangerous for this HELLCAT boys defense to start off with here on our first game for the night in the PAC Premier Spring Tournament. We got 3 games tonight. Like we said, if you were just joining us from the setup, we're going to see HELLCAT boys versus Coastal, Team Sesh versus Coastal immediately after this, and then potentially the Temper versus Task Force 1-4-1 game after that. Oh, and Rusher going crazy here on the Warden. We talked about Warden, whether or not he was had a nerf or a buff going into his change to drop from a 3-speed to a 3 armor, but that extra 25 HP, I think, has certainly been considered a buff at this point. Well, and a little treat for us as we start up on round 2. Whiskey Glitter back with us.
That's right, baby. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are ready to go now. Ooh, round 1 in favor of the defense. Not too shabby.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
So,
Okay. Lay it on me.
yeah, it was a nearly flawless run there from the HELLCAT boys. Rusher grabbing a triple there on the Warden in very quick succession, and definitely some chatter going on in the game chat. But what we did see so far was this defense play very well together. Coastal trying to find their ground, a little bit of a mix of a couple different teams coming together here for this PAC tournament into what is now the new Coastal Gaming squad.
Oh, yeah, there's some familiar names. Resisted, I believe, was the winner of the 2v2 and the 3v3 in the Skyline tournament as well.
That's right, called that out. Nailed it, my friend.
Let's go. Big W. Okay, let's take a look at the defense. It's a classic bunker war setup here. Well, much that's setup or classic about this. We do have the Azami for a little bit of intel. But the highlight character here is the Azami, really going to be digging in, setting up that trench warfare. Already a little bit of damage done to Wamai. As they're trading back and forth, he's going to lose his life, and that's going to give man count in favor of the attacking team.
Oh, and just chasing Azami down the stairs, trying to find her. That was definitely an unfortunate rotate there from Wamai to get himself taken off. IQ set up in the right place, and heading back. Wow, a double trade there, and Kane, a 3K here, or grabbing his 3rd kill of the game so far. The flash is going to come up, but he's going to make his way down to Harry Potter, hiding, and going to swing on another attacker? No way.
Just not to be not afraid of taking that gunfight. Goes up top, takes over or high overhead of a zombie. Now takes us into a 3v2. Folks, that was all within the first minute of gameplay, and we're down to the last 5 on total alive. Quick set of trades there.
So the thing about this one, interesting for us, getting a chance to cast, like we called it, the PAC Events GG Spring Tournament here, our first time getting a chance to cast these, but a couple of teams, the thing we don't know is how exactly they're going to play together in this new setup together. So getting our first taste of it. It is a best of 1, so there is no time for these teams to alter their strategy between maps. They've got to find a way to do it all right now here on the first.
Defender's going to take round number 2, as that was a dynamic round yet again. Not nearly as together as the first, of course.
No, the attackers made, and this Coastal Gaming team made much more progress there, pushing down to the defense, but still didn't really put any pressure on the site at that point. They didn't really find a way to, didn't see them opening up the hatches. Almost all of the action taking place on the big tower stairs.
Bombs will be defused by attackers.
All right, let's see the first of the Tersh sites here. Going to be kitchen meeting, classic, right? Never hardly see that kitchen dining, as it's almost an unplayable site as far as defender-wise. But we got the highlight character on the board. We're gonna be seeing the Doc making his way onto the scene, and whether you're 1, 5, or 99, Doc's got the time to heal you all the way back up to that full strength in one stim. So if you're taking little bits and pieces of each other off, Doc, a great character to bring you back up and ready into tip-top fighting shape yet again. Gonna be coupled with the Legion and the Warden, not to be smoked out or flashed. The Zombie for that trench warfare, and Wamai for that projectile tonight. Generally like to see the Osa being brought out here on the attack to help support, right? Because, essentially what we're going to want to see here is the hold put up onto T3, open it up, get some sort of hold and protection up there on T3. Oh my lord, just about finds one right early out the gate with skeleton key.
Yeah, that would have been unfortunate timing there for Legion.
Now trying to take a look. Ooh, what a cheeky little angle. Write that down, Whiskey.
They certainly know he's playing here, but he's being awfully forward. He's sitting at 5-0, gonna make it 6 as he grabs Capitau's head right off there, and continuing to hold that location, not really backing off. Finally, though, gonna walk into the waiting arms of Buck, taking him off as he's holding onto this green door with a little bit of sight line into sight there.
Yeah, no kidding. So that's going to leave body bounce tipped in favor of HELLCAT boys. Here's they feeling pretty good on their defense, having taken 2 of the members out on the trade. But it is going to be Thermite to open up this main breach and start to put some pressure on straight ahead.
They nailed it
Not
with
with
an
that
impact. That's right, and Azami still got a double. She's going to hit it right here for another. She misses.
Oh, no. Rough situation, and now they do, of course, have the main breach open. Here's the deal. They got to find one to equalize, and it's going to be Resisted coming down from below, trying to put some of that vertical pressure on and catch somebody slipping who's potentially on that flank. It's not going to be the case, because I believe mostly sitting up top and directly in sight.
Yeah, this attacking team has not cleared out the top floor, and they've got a lot of holds here. We saw Recited come through the basement and taking a shot on to the Warden, and gonna catch a zombie as well. What a double there to even it up. But now you've got Doc rotating back downstairs, trying to find where IQ is playing.
Yeah, that is a huge flank there, and that's what we talk about on Oregon all the time. Jeez, flank again. Recited on the triple kill now, putting us into a 2v1, all on the shoulders of the Doc.
Let's freaking go. What a run there from Recited coming up the triple flank, one through the kitchen, one through meeting, and then one in the attic. And Doc getting identified here with the drone. They still have to find a way to find either him. They have the diffuser and the drop to grab a 4K to finish out the round.
Man, what a freaking round for Recited.
What a oh man, played that exactly the way you'd expect. I mean, we were seeing the HELLCAT boys be very good on defense, very aggressive, taking those early engagements. But as soon as they got into a situation where they were trying to hold a couple angles, they didn't know how to deal with Recited at that point. So I imagine not going to be able to take those kind of flank engagements here across the board like he did this round. Going to see, I would guess, the HELLCAT boys being more prepared for that kind of a rush there.
All right, so let's take it back up to 2F here as the first round rotate is done and underway. 2F hold, Bandit to stop that breach now coming in, and that's where that ace combo going to be coming into effect, where they took ace off the board. So it means Thermite's going to have to push in to master bedroom to actually get the wall open, leaving him open for that crossfire setup from attic or the potential shield holding on to master bedroom. We'll see if it works out for him this time.
Yeah, definitely did not work that first. So we've got some drones in place, got Bandit in place. We saw Warden take a little bit of a shot, just give this attacking team a little bit of pause. But undeterred at this point, gonna see the floors. We talked about him as a possible ban here on Oregon because of his utility clear, and there's no mute on the board here from this defensive team. So unless they've got a direct line of sight onto this Flores, potentially he's gonna be able to clear out some of this utility.
Yep, huge for taking care of that extension. Util going to get that first Kiva barrier off the board. And this is actually a pretty fun setup here for the attacking team, right? Get themselves in place for an execute. Dokkaebi not banned out. Potential to see why is recited on that 5 and 2. Going be embracing that DMR. Did they get the shield? Oh, what a play if they took that thing off the board.
They still got the shield that's in attic in here, and he takes out one of those Roteros. Frosto continuing to play behind the shield, but being very aggressive, pushing up, but Rusher again.
Rusher, sheesh, finds himself one, but is going to get taken down by Russ. It is going to get traded out onto Recited, now putting it into a dramatic way. 4v2, woo! 3v2 as Russ finds himself another one. Jeez, what a shot. It's all sitting in the hands of the defense here.
That was 2 huge kills there from Russ to actually be able to hold on to this round. Without him, there was no chance. But the double taking Rusher off the board at 8 and 2, having a fantastic game, and then able to get the Bandit, putting a lot of pressure. So they're able to gain control back of Master, and gonna try and find a way to push in here to find out who is holding top white. Just the Azami. So now all up to Jolts and Russ.
Yeah, so minute left on the board. Lots of drone work going on, but they're not going to find really much intel as they get shut down immediately. It's going to have to dislodge one of these defenders, and there's the shield that goes down, but Frost still in a prime position to take these gunfights. Yeah, as you said, it's all resting on the shoulders of the last 2 attackers, and they're going to go for a bit of... Oh man, these Wamidis just being absolutely insane at disrupting everything the attacking team is trying to bring to the table. And that's going to be the double quick, and defender's going to take that round.
I can't believe they hit both of those at exactly the same time, and what a shot there between the 2 Kiba barriers. He didn't end up taking down one. Didn't need to. It was causing a lot of unnecessary noise. But great shot. There was some great shots in that round between Rusher, between Russ, and then finally there with Arabic finishing off on the Frost. Some great 1v1s we're seeing.
Ooh-wee. Okay, 3-1, not wholly unexpected, right? Generally, we consider Oregon to be a defensive favored map. Oh, interesting deployable. I like it. It caused some contention there towards the freezer hold area. But let's talk about the defense. It's a bunker war setup, my friends, and it's going to bring out some classics. If she's not banned, Mira going to be on the board. And here's the interesting part, favoring a ton of deployable shield work. And I love that. Give yourself some cover, give yourself some concealment, a chance to stay in the engagement and stall out just a little bit longer. Doesn't look like they're going to bring the Flores along here to deal with those.
And interesting too, because we saw the deployables play a big part of the upstairs hold, and I think they would have seen it here on the basement hold on the first round, but all of the action happened on the stairs, and it was just cleared out so quickly that they really didn't get a chance to identify all of the defender utility in place. So we'll see. I think they're feeling pretty confident about the chances right now, though.
Yep, 3 towards the construction edge, 2 towards the street side. So we're going to see ourselves a bit of a split push as they try to take some of this 1F real estate. Hatch Queen on the board. Try to get some of that early vertical presence and pressure available and try to get somebody to get that body bounce in their favor early on. Which is, of course, what you're looking for, that entry pick.
I don't know if the drone sussed out Ella here. There was a question. It looked like potentially, but they're definitely going to hear that that phone going out. It's going to take a little bit of a chance continuing to swing. There's the drone. Now they got her for sure.
Yep, she gets sussed out, so she's going to put herself into a more fortuitous situation. The bullet's going to fly from the P2 area. Resighted coming in. Going to try to get active on this player. Boop. Got him. And, of course, Ella, it's going to all be for naught as Ella has already rotated back down to the first floor area. So, effectively giving up that second floor. But look how long it took, Whiskey. It's 1:25 left on the board.
Right, they burned 1:30 off with all of that second floor play. All Ella needed to do was be upstairs in the attic for a little while, and then... Wow, Kane grabbing one, 5 and 2. And look at this, continuing to hold a location here where we know this attacking team is going to want to try and get this hatch open. Again, did they suss her out? Do they know that she is playing in that location, or they're going to take more of a direct approach?
So, yeah, it looks like they get that deployable off the field, and that's going to be now a 5v3 to the attackers fell off the board, and that's huge. Get that flank watch off the board, get that phone call off the board. The next to fall is Buck, and this is feeling pretty defensive-sided here on round number 5.
Well, and Ella was able to down Capitao as well, so that was huge. Going to get hit with the Nomad, but trying to get into a position. Oh, he's recoverable for sure, I think. They're just worried that we're going to see the defenders push as soon as they hear the sound cues. And, yep, we see them all pushing upstairs. The Ella taking a shot again, but both Valkyrie and Azami and... No way they're going to...
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I thought for sure the attackers had that as they all pushed up the stairs and took the fight almost unnecessarily, just throwing bodies at this attacking team, thinking they had it, but that was close.
Yeesh. That was a flurry of action by the defense. And the trade game was huge. It almost came down to it, right? Into a 2v1. But the defense going to find themselves another victory. And like I was saying earlier, not wholly unexpected. Defense, or Oregon is a defensive-sided map, so a 4-1 or a 5-1 or a 4-2 split. Not totally bad, right? Coastal Gaming takes one. They take a second one. They feel pretty good about getting onto their defense.
Yeah, agreed. And back to this tertiary site. So definitely their best opportunity statistically to be able to take a round here, another round, to put themselves up on that 4-2 split. But certainly the Hellcat boys wanting to hold on to a massive lead as they go into their attacking half. Possible that we're going to see that go 5-1 as well. Bringing out the Mute. Talked about him not being on the board when they played the upstairs site. Now he's here. Now he's ready to deny the drones. Going to see they had a Twitch on the board. Going to 6-pick off onto the Gridlock and the Nomad for the double flank watch.
Yeah, well, the flank has been one of the key words of this evening, right? So I think the Mute is a great adaptation, and I think the second flank watch is a great adaptation. Both of these teams making some really smart calls. We're going to see which one capitalizes here. Outside of that Mute, however, it's going to be a little bit of second verse, same as the first. We're seeing the Legion, Azami, Warden, and Wamai coming back out. Not a bad setup here. On the attack side of it, did not opt to bring the OSA yet again, which is not, I mean, not necessary, right? Not, you don't have to have it. It's just one of the things that makes pushing that T3 and T2 area just a little bit easier, I think, having that added security of the deployable with you, or the talent shield with you.
Yep, I would agree. And so seeing this entire attacking team push big tower, the defenders thinking that there was going to be a small tower push with 2 over on that side of the map, there was potentially a little bit of an opportunity for a quick play here, but going to see the attackers again take their time, set it up, and have a bead on this mute, but no, not going to happen. The nade coming out. They are kind of going for a bit of a quick plant here, getting themselves set up. It looks like there's no one playing in meeting, with the exception of the Legion playing upstairs on the hatch.
Pretty critical push point, right? You have to take that control. Otherwise, the vertical game is just going to be huge, and that's going to be Buck getting taken off the board, traded out onto Rushers. Now we find ourselves into a 4-4, and that's a huge pick for the attacking team, right? Rusher being 8-4 currently, just having an insane game inside of 6. Ooh, no man to find one, and that's going to put the body balance in favor of Coastal Gaming here with a minute and 17 left.
If they can deal with this Azami, they're getting themselves in a position to plant here. It's a 3v2, engage grabbing one, all down to Arabic and Flaws as the last 2 left alive on this defending squad. And they can make it happen until they can't. He's going to go down. A recoverable, but going to swing instead.
Yep, get a couple of shots on it, make sure they back up, make sure they take their time, not go for the re-swing, and there it is. Plants starting to go down. Warden going to be the next to fall, and that's a double ringing out by Russ. Coastal Game to take their next round and their second of the half. Top swap, Whiskey.
I mean, you said, well, if they're not going to swing it, and then what did they do? They immediately swung it as if on cue, and seeing Coastal taking their second feels pretty good if that was them. They definitely played extremely well on that site, and HELLCAT boys being, I think, a little overly aggressive. It is a best of 1 though, so that's one of the reasons why we love best of 1s. Is it's not, teams don't have the opportunity to take their time and think about it and gauge how the other team is playing. They're straight going for wins to start themselves off here on this PAC League Premier Spring Tournament. I mean, go for the win right off the bat. Love to see it, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-2 on the split. Take a look at this defense here. Going to head up to 2F for the first round of the back end of the half. Be pretty similar to what you were seeing on the other side, except we're going to see the Frost come out. A little bit of slow down City to help support those Kiba barriers. And that push in towards. Do have the deployable, but 2 deployables can be a little bit more standard in the placement. Watching towards Master. On the attack team, here's the fun op. It's going to be the Brava coming out. Not much in the way that you can take the gadgets, can take some of those my discs, of course, can get those mute jammers, but mostly probably going to be used for those default cams. And a little bit of that intel.
I love seeing the mute jammer take as well, though. That it adds a little bit for Dokkaebi, right? The defenders can walk themselves into any of the mute jammers to cancel the Dokkaebi call very quickly. So if she's got the option to steal one of those, that definitely can be helpful and prevent the defense from gaining that little bit of advantage from the mute jammer.
Yeah, and then just like that, Russ and Resided taken off the board. We now find ourselves into a 5v3. Just really a bunch of early aggression. I'm not sure if that was on the side of the defense or if that was just attackers getting in and getting active. But nonetheless, it's a little bit of stuck on the back foot here for this defense.
Gonna swing. Oh, take a shot. Engage. Grabbing one. Running, almost getting another. Jolt's going to make the swing with the big shotty. Gets taken out from behind. That's unfortunate. So now down to running. Engage. He's going to get it second.
Well, that was a straight up trade. Now takes us into a 2v2. Yeah, the mute gunfight. That was a trade. That was crazy. Morton goes down now into a 2v1. It's all resting on the shoulders of running. Who's going to take a couple of shots towards Master. Kane going to find that ultimate kill as Warden does get completed on the kill, and they're going potentially. No, do they have case?
No, diffuser is cold. Diffuser is
Oh.
cold.
Well, plenty of time here for this attacker team. As long as they can dislodge Frost.
Oh, the diffuser is out on the balcony, and they were able to collapse on Frost here with all of those flashes coming out, hiding behind the shield. They must not have known that Ayana made the trip behind through the the back of the site. But the unfortunate part there is, I mean, from a standard Siege player, objective-based gameplay, they could have easily gone out, tried to grab that diffuser. But Frost was holding that angle, trying to protect the diffuser there from the long angle, and unfortunate that she wasn't able to either notice or catch that Ayana made the flip around the back. So that's HELLCAT boys taking their first on attack, going up 5-2. This is, we're getting close.
I don't know if she would have known or not. It didn't matter. There was 3 flashes that came in and immediately blinded her with a crossfire set up. You stand up, you're dead. You don't turn, you're dead. There's just a heads-up play by the attacking team. HELLCAT boys now 1 away from a match point situation here in this best of 1. You take it down to the bunker wars.
10 seconds left.
A lot of, like you called it out, a lot of crazy action happening there early in that upstairs site. So I wonder if we're going to see the same thing down here in the basement. I mean, like you called it out, the bunker wars definitely known for being a lot of quick play happening on this bomb site.
Are they all turtled down in the site too?
Has been dropped.
They
I think
are. Yep,
Yeah.
we got all 5 downstairs. The only exception being the Warden and the Azami, both pushing up a little bit here, try and gain some ground in the back of meeting. Green, gonna see him take a shot. Not gonna hit
Look at
anything
this.
though.
Have recovered
Yeah, Grim good and active, and probably one of the highlight picks here. Grim, now that he doesn't have to put himself into danger to use this utility, it's a ton of intel released very quickly.
And Warden, sensing that that potentially one of the attackers is going to make the push down these freezer stairs, backs off and is going to wait for the bees to fly away. Grim continuing to hold that upper angle. I don't think they know that Warden is down here playing, but they're certainly getting themselves set up from an attacking perspective to hold it. And the Vector and Engage, taking out that first kill. Kane off the board.
Yep, that's a nice pick. Kane sitting at that 8-4, just under the current kill leader, Rusher. So, very huge pick for the defense here. Now all they got to do is rely on that trade game. Make sure you got the buddy system in place, eh, Whiskey?
Here it is. Look at,
located a
gonna
bomb.
push Azami out of that location, hiding behind those Kiba barricades.
Interesting barricade that was.
Yeah, right up against the wall, trying to hold this freezer, and that's exactly what they've got going on. More of those bees coming out from Grim, seeing this push in, gonna lose one, and the shotgun ringing out from Jot.
Now takes us all onto the shoulders of the Flores. He finds himself in a bit of a pickle holding on to that hatch area. I don't know if they exactly know that he is up there.
Well,
So it's 50 seconds, time for him to either potentially take a faux timeout or try to pad the KD a little bit.
we definitely haven't seen Coastal taking that same super aggressive approach that we were seeing the HELLCAT boys take. There's certainly no need here, right? They're going to get this round win unless they do something silly, and I don't expect we're going to see Coastal do that. They're going to wait, hold the angles, take a few shots. Jot's going to get it with that SMG-11 from the long angle. Headshot, my guy.
Man, SMG-11, didn't that thing get a nerf?
Nobody told the comp players that that it did. That's the thing we've noticed is the SMG-11 play has not dropped off one bit as far as we've seen in competitive play. There's no reason to, my guy. I'm gonna get it out eventually.
Attackers need to locate and defuse the bomb if they can.
All right. That gets us a little bit closer in the score line, as now Coastal Gaming only down by 2 as we head back up to that second floor site. Okay, let's take a look at the defense. It's one you've seen before. They're going to run it back again. In fact, yeah, it looks like almost the same exact operators on the board here, except for we're going to see the Valkyrie now going to be in play. Valkyrie huge because, right, you get those cameras up, 3 of them.
10 seconds to insertion.
Can be some in the game of intel and inches. She's absolutely reigned supreme with that hideable intel. C4 is on the board, 2 of them to be exact. Might see some of that vertical pressure being had, and look at this. Warden all the way up in small tower. Not going to stay there, though. He's just potentially getting seen on drone, making these attackers waste a little bit of time trying to push him out, dislodge a player out. A little bit of ghost pressure, if you will.
It did. Took a shot on the Iana there and continuing to hide. Hold on just a little bit here. We're seeing this attacking team gain control of Armory, bringing out the Twitch. Didn't see her downstairs when they had the Mira in play, and she's a very good counter to the Mira. But potentially trying to take out some of these mute jammers. And is that a C4 about to get ripped? Indeed. She's got it in her hand, ready to go.
I'm going to lose one to the mute jammer there. That's one of those Twitch drones off the board. I like the adaptation here by the attacking team. 2 sets of drone operators to deal with this util, specifically those Wamai discs and mute jammers.
Look at this Valk holding on with the patience of a first-grade teacher, just waiting to rip that C4 as soon as the call goes out. They're pushing up in. There it is. There's one. Not gonna connect. That's unfortunate.
Man. What a throw, though. And now it's going to be Thermite to go down as body balance shifted in favor of Coastal Gaming here. It does get equalized up as Resided gets taken off the board. Another default for the attacking team is find ourselves into a 4v3. 125 left on the board.
Rusher here, 11 and 5, still a part of it, along with Kane at 2 of the top frags on this attacking Hellcat boys team. But Russ, not interested in that. Gonna grab a triple here. Now down to the Flores and the Finca.
They are in this. Oh, Laura's going to try to get some of these Keeper Bears, maybe try to dislodge some player here, but not going to be the case. Going to stay behind this Keeper Bear, ready to take the attack, and that's going to take us into a 3v2 as Russ gets taken off the board.
Once again, seeing this attacking team is going to have to push. The defenders do not need to, and is going to fall quickly here for the attackers as Jot running take down those attackers in quick succession.
Do I feel some momentum turning here?
Indeed you do, my friend. That's exactly what it's feeling like. 5-4. We grab a look at that scoreboard. 3 of the last 4 rounds going in favor of Coastal here, and that's exactly what they needed as they entered their defense of Oregon. So it's certainly not up. The interesting thing is still not, or interesting I suppose, still not going to see that kitchen dining, but we will see kitchen meeting now, tertiary site for Coastal. They were very successful attacking this site versus the Hellcat boys, so we'll see if they can have that same success on their defense of it.
And let's take a look at the defense. I have a couple of highlights here. Going to see Mozzie on the board with that mobile intel. But the fun op, it's going to be the Capcan. They're bringing it out pretty late in the round, and the reason that they're doing that is if you haven't seen the Capcan, you're not necessarily going to be looking for it, even if he's been sussed out as an operator. So it means either 2 options. 1, you're going to slow the heck down and check every door or every window. Or option number 2, you're going to forget. And in the 20-second meta, if you forget, that could cost you a round in the last few seconds.
That's right. And downstairs in that basement, watching for one of those flanks come through, that's a great place to have a Capcan trap down there. So look at this, and Mozzie able to grab a drone, going to get some pre-placed for them intel as they enter garage.
Pretty fun setup here by the attacking team. So kind of focusing more on that intel and health. So we see IQ and Grim on the board. IQ huge, right? Especially for these Capcans. So immediately going to be able to suss out where the heck those gadgets are at.
True, they're gonna know, but once again, even if she can ping them downstairs, if nobody's downstairs and then they go for that late round flank, that's where they're gonna come in huge. So, question is whether or not they're gonna go through the basement, or they're gonna stick with part of this top floor push.
It'd be a bit of a west side take here. Is there's 2 on the window and 2 pushing sight down below, I believe. Maybe a little bit of that. Yeah, no, most of that west height take. Minute and 47. So as the first minute has wound down, drones sort of done what they do, and there's going to be the first kills. I got to say, they sussed out where the heck these defenders are.
Wow.
2 to fall. Oh. Does get a little bit traded back as the Finka not going to be able to use that 60 HP that she brings to the board, and IQ could sure use it at this moment. But it does put body balance tipped in favor of the HELLCAT boys as they now put themselves into a 4-2 situation, all resting on the shoulders of Mute and Capcan, of Mute. Rusher on the triple kill, getting active here, trying to put themselves on a match point scenario, Whiskey, and now that's the plant going down, and pros don't fake, so Thermite's going to go ahead and stick this bad boy.
Oh, misses the one shot there. Again, another. Gonna see Grim finally fall. Jot getting that, but full white. Arabic gonna finish him off around the corner. They took over the kitchen and just absolutely cooked him, my friend.
Yeah. Yep, unfortunate miss. If he takes that first shot, it'll allow him to push in and swing whoever was sitting on the right-hand side. Put it into a 2v1, a little bit more manageable of a situation here in the post plant. But the unfortunate whiff going to cost him his life. And potentially the match is now HELLCAT boys are put on a match point scenario.
That's right. It is a best of one. If you're just joining us, we are here at Playday 2, the premier spring tournament. And we've got 3 best of ones on tap. This is just the first. We're going to see Team Sesh back again for their second game of the night. This is finishing out their Playday 1 game. Going to see them taking on Team Sesh immediately following this game. And then Temper versus Task Force 1-4-1 as the final for this evening as we finish out Playday 2.
Yeah. This is exciting. This is what Siege should be. This is close. We got to see Coastal Gaming be perfect for 2 in a row here on this bunker site. And I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to PAC Events GG for allowing the Whiskey Boys to be a part of this Playday 2. Yeah, it's a big GG and a big W to you guys.
Check them out on OPL. They've got the league set up there for more events, as well as Twitter. Got that linked on our site as well, so looking forward to see what they are bringing to the table for this tournament.
Ayo, let's go. Okay, let's talk about it. Defense, we said they got to be perfect for 2. What did they bring to the lineup? Look at this Rush. That's crazy. Rush living up to his namesake, just taking a ton of real estate, him and Ash, and it's some DMRs on the board. At least 2 of them, and we've talked about it. DMR is just absolutely devastating in the hands of somebody who can use it correctly. Look at this little bit of a one-way. Whiskey, write that down.
Yeah, for sure. Seeing Azami hold this angle, resighted there. Rusher 15-7-2 ready. They for sure know that Azami is holding a location. She's going to push up instead of holding the angle. Oh, boy, that feels like a huge miss. Had a great shot there, an opportunity, but Engage going to finish it off with the C4. That's exactly what this defending team needed. Take Rusher off the board, tie up the man count here. As we see that Engage grabbing a double. 1 C4, 1 with the gun. Wow.
And look at this too. It's kind of waist down holes on Freezer. I kind of like it. It's tough. It's exactly like we've been seeing for these half-breach scenarios where it just makes it a little bit tougher for you to put in. You have to put yourself on a slower situation, crouching to see who the heck is alive and around, or holding somebody on a drone. If you can keep it alive, it's a fun little setup. Coastal Gaming now up in the man count as we sit. 4-3, last minute 13 left to go.
The flash is coming out. Arabic getting 1 on the back. A triple, though, for Engage. He's going to hold this team together. That's a Thermite right up against that wall. I don't know if they know that he's made that push in. Certainly they do. That is case down. What a shot there from Jot on the Kaid, and that sniper shot he with running to finish him off with Warden. good hold here by the defense. A couple big kills there early from Engage, going to save Azami from that unfortunate loss at the top of the stairs, swinging. Because like you said, that was a great Kiba setup. I like it. I want to write that one down for sure.
Okay. Had to be perfect for 2, found 1. So we head back up to the 2F site. Potential to see our first overtime of the evening here if Coastal Gaming could come up with one more. AO?
Let's go. I mean, it's one of the things you talk about, right? And a lot of times in those best of fives, and we've done a lot of best of fives, 11 so far in 2024. You see the teams play a little bit more conservatively, especially in those mid-game rounds. But I mean, we've seen HELLCAT boys be incredibly aggressive the entire time, and Coastal has been able to take advantage of that and convert that into round wins when they needed it most. So this is when they need it most now. Got one more round to send it to overtime here in this first best of one in the PAC Phoenix Amateur Circuit here on their Play Day 2. We're getting to be a part of.
Attackers are moving out to locate a
Yeah.
bomb and defuse it.
Okay. One more potential for overtime here. And let's take a look at the defense. It's the ones you've seen before. We've got that intel of Valkyrie and the trench setup of Azami, and of course, Mute to stop both the breach and let's stop that intel. It's going to be Amaru quickly into T2 to take a look and grab some of that early real estate.
Rusher, like you said, living up to his name. They've got that Mute Jammer going to try and need to push down here to clear that off before going to be able to use the can opener. And it looked like the defense was trying to hold an angle here on it. That's right. They've got it open for as soon as he goes to try and clear out the Mute, going to be able to swing that.
Taking a look. Oh, drone not going to be able to survive here. First minute done and gone off the board as the drone is exactly what you're watching, trying to suss out where the heck these defenders are, and there's Engaged to find one, and that's the kill on Thatcher, but they are going to get the breach open, so Thatcher having done his job. Oh, man, and that's a tough one. Now put into a 3v5 as man advantage is flipped over to the side of Coastal Gaming. Boy, they're in a good position now to tie this bad boy up and maybe allow us to see our first overtime of the evening. Overtime on match 1, that bodes well, Mr. Whiskey.
Yeah, for some exciting siege, and not just our first of the night, our first as a part of this league. So glad to be a part of it here. And holy smokes, 2v4. Don't want to be throwing it away if you're either team. Both need to play here for the win. Rusher still 16-8-2 and making this push downstairs. They know they've got a defender down here. Engage looking to increase his kill count. The 2 top frags duking it out downstairs. Arab going to find him, though, putting him at 2v3. Looking better for this attacking team.
Yeah, still, though, it's only a minute left on the board. And as we say it, time waits for no man. They've got to find another kill to equalize this body count and get themselves in position to get a plant down. That's a C4 rip. Oh, not going to be the case. Is Arabic going to find one? Now equalized up to a 2-2. And it's the hold from White onto the chassis. Who is going to swing first on this one? Look, holding the... Oh, man, what a shot! Lamai ripped off the board, but Rusher does go down, so now it's all on the shoulders. It's a 1v1, and that's going to be the HELLCAT boys taking it.
The flash again. Boy, the flash is incredibly impactful as we rolled through this first game of the PAC. Woo, holy smokes. That one goes 7-5, like you said, in favor of the HELLCAT boys. An incredible game there from Rusher to be able to put that one down. Impressive game, 17-8-2.
Yeah, jeez, man, absolutely banger way to start play day number 2, my friends. Okay, well, let's get the next one set up and ready to go. So, friends, we've got another one coming at you. Coastal Gaming going to be playing their second match of the evening in their doubleheader. So sit back, relax, fill your drink up to the tippy top, because when we come back, it's going to be match number 2. AO.
Let's go.
What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. Man, if you're just joining us, we missed an absolute banger match number one. Still got two for you to go here. I am still the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me still, as always, is Mr. Whiskey One. Say hello, Whiskey. Huh.
Whiskey may have been involved, my friends, which is exactly what we love to hear. So here with the PAC Premier Spring Tournament, and we've got, this is play day 2. We're covering 3 of those matches tonight. We just saw, or if you're just joining us, you missed the HELLCAT boys versus Coastal Gaming finishing out their first Playday match. So here on their second, they're going to pick up their game versus Team Sesh. So Coastal Gaming versus Team Sesh. And if you've been a fan of the channel or a follower, you may have seen we casted Team Sesh 3 different times during the Element 2 qualifiers that the Siege Double Shot was a part of. So we have seen this team and we've seen those players be a part of it. And also on the side of Coastal, some dear friends there too. Part of that Godspeed Gaming team that won the Temper Grand Finals we got a chance to cast at the end of last year, as well as going all the way back to our OCS casts. We got to see this is part of Team Revenge as well. So we got a lot of friends mixed in with these two teams as a part of being casting them here. Our first cast in the PAC.
So coming up for you, it's going to be map number 2 is Cafe. Fun stats about Cafe. It is actually the best map for Team Sesh, right? And on the reverse side of it, it is Coastal's worst map, at least through OPL standings. But they're a relatively new team, so potential for that to just be a misnomer, as in maybe played it one time and lost it or something like that. So I still expect to see this game go the distance.
Yeah, both of these teams very good, and we saw Coastal Gaming get very close, 7-5 on our last map, which was Oregon, and there were some great moments from this. You see, Recited is also playing part of Coastal. We've seen and casted him as a part of the Skyline 2v2 and 3v3 tournament, the winning team. So very good as an individual player, very good as part of a team. So, like you said, it's Team Sesh making it all the way to the late rounds, the group of 8 in Element 2 Open qualifiers. So we got a pair of great teams here setting up for our second map of the night.
Yep, that's right. Well, how close are we, my friend? Are we there?
Take a look at the lobby. Let's see. Still working on getting this team in place. So, like you said, Cafe. And the thing I loved, I wanted to show the map bands real quick, was Team Sesh doing the Siege world a favor, banning out the 3 most common played maps right off the bat: Chalet, Oregon, and Clubhouse. And when we look back at the over 400 games we casted in 2023, those maps accounted for almost 90% of those casts. So the fact that they're not here is, kind of nice for the Siege community because you all got to see them a ton as well. Cafe still a pretty important map. We're going to see that, but thought that was cool that we got a chance to see what these guys had brought out in band. So you're right. We'll take a second, continue to get the team in the lobby, but there's one other important thing I wanted to talk about, my friend.
Yeah, lay it on me, my guy.
In addition to our work here at the PAC, the Phoenix Amateur Circuit, we are also going to be hosting the SI Watch Party. Siege Double Shot continues our role as one of the Ubisoft partnered content creators. Thanks very much, Ubisoft, for all that you're doing for us and allowing us to be part of the SI Watch Party. That means that we're going to be hosting all of the SI games here on the Siege Double Shot channel and giving the viewers the opportunity to earn drops. And for the first time ever, Ubisoft has got a special drop that is just for partnered streams. That a weapon skin that's only going to be available as a Twitch drop for the partnered stream. So pretty exciting to be a part of that, my guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't freaking wait. Last watch party we did for the Atlanta Major was a blast. You guys were all there as we celebrated and cried together over NA just getting wrecked in the major. So expect it to be absolutely no different. But you talked about giveaways. There is one important one that's coming up. The big giveaway when we hit 1,000 followers which I believe at the last check we were at 4 left to go. And what happens when we hit 1,000? Well, that triggers a really fun giveaway that we're going to do. Maybe we give it away on the first day of SI. But
That's
basically, we
true.
went to Atlanta Major and got this hat from the Atlanta Major with the logo on it and everything. And a bunch of people wrote on it, so nobody wants to keep it anymore. We're gonna give it away. Some of those notable names that wrote on it: Bolo, Pangu, Kino, Spoit, Spirits, NJR. You know, just a running list of absolute gunners in the professional Siege world. So as soon as we hit 1,000 followers, it's going to trigger the giveaway on Twitter. If you follow us, I'm at glitter_whiskey. He's at racing ENGR. And you'll find the details on how to qualify for the hat. So pretty fun stuff going on here for the Siege double
So
shot. We're still
close.
waiting for that last little bit into the lobby. So we're gonna take a short break. If you sit back, relax, fill your drink to the tippy top. When we come back, it's gonna be match number 2. Ayo.
Let's go.
You can be my tag along. Keep me up all
What's up and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. It's time, my friends. Cafe, and it's all on the line in this best of one. Welcome back, and we're gonna get into the bands, my friends. So Cafe, little bit more of a more exciting map, right? There's 3 different floors. It's spread out just a little bit, tough to get inside. What kind of bands do you think we're seeing here, Mr. Run?
Okay, so going into Cafe, big map still, Ying and Dokubi are the classic bands. I mean, they have been the part of the current competitive meta, have been just selected as the 2 operators that see that. I mean, it's got to be close to 90% band rate at this point. It's just every single round we're seeing them banned out. It's wild that we even get to play them at all, it seems like. So now here we are rolling into it. The one change we talked about him as a possibility for Oregon was the Flores ban. This is Coastals, so maybe they didn't like dealing with that Flores and even less here on Cafe. Potentially to clear out some of that Azami up top. We'll see whether or not she's banned out, but I think it's going to be Soulless here.
Yeah, I think that you're. Nope, it is the Azami. That piano position with that trench warfare is just so tough to get into, especially when you take Flores off the board. So I think that's a good ban here. Last one, potentially that Fenrir ban. Nope, it is the Solus. You were right.
She also is a part of that meta. I mean, the amount of games that we actually get to see Solus played in, again, is near zero. She is banned out all the time. It's really unbelievable how much the competitive environment has really coalesced around the Ying, Dokubi, Solus, Fenrir. So the fact that we saw 2 of them switch out tonight almost feels a little bit special, a little bit unique. Kind of like seeing this defending team start on 2F.
Well, you know, we talk about it all the time. We live in that age of verticality, which means those first floor sites, well, they reign supreme. It's the full extension up top, and it is Intel City for this team sesh here. Maestro, Echo, Valkyrie, even Fenrir can be counted as some intel because once his traps go off, it's like a proximity alarm, right? Not only do you get the sound cue from the thing going off, but Fenrir gets to know that one of his devices has been triggered with a little indicator on the screen. So 4 intel operators and an intel deny. What does that mean for this team sesh? That means that they're going to be acting on some crazy swings. There are going to be people everywhere.
And we got a couple of these cams in locations that make it difficult for the attacking team to take down, right? It was similar to Villa. You had the cams and in Chalet where you can put those Maestro cams above a hatch. You break the hatch, and the only way that the attacking team can get rid of that cam is if they're able to get to use up some explosive utility, a Gone 6, an Ash Charge, something like that. But Maestro are going to fall early, so those cams are not going to be active. They're not going to be the important, still part of the important part of this utility, but not the dangerous part of it.
Yeah, huge pick, and then they're going to get recited off the board on the equalizer. Maestro and Dokubi now gone, and that's a huge pick, right? We see Dokubi banned out, like you said, like 80 to 90% of the time. So to be able to see her played 2 times in one play day, absolutely astounding. Unfortunate that she falls first here. On the edge. Oh, look at that echo. What in the world? Write it down, Whiskey. Write it down.
It's really crazy how many, how much intel is out here. I mean, they're really just making sure that this Coastal Gaming has got no opportunity to move without being identified, without being on cam. And they're trying to fight back with a bit of drone economy on their side. But, I mean, look at that. They knew exactly when this team started to make a move and even get close. I mean, we got stuck outside the building for the most part.
Yeah, that's the problem with Cafe. It's the same sort of run line as Skyscraper is because of it being in that giant like square type thing and so quick to get across such a huge map. Yeah, it does. It makes it tough to get in, or you got to go full map clear. Start from the bottom, work your way up. Start from the top, work your way down. We do find Valkyrie getting taken off the board, so another set of intel is relegated to her own cams. Now puts us into a 4v3 scenario with 40 seconds left on the board, and this is part of that 20-second meta that we've been seeing with it. And now with Fenrir still on the board, oh, they're just going to try to get in and plant. Engage quietly sneaks into sight. Now we've got Echo down below, potentially playing on those yokai drones. This is the fire to stop that rotate, to stop that, try to stop that potential plant.
They're not a full wipe, but enough for this. Oh, the plant is going down. He's gonna knock it with an Echo. Waiting. Perfect timing there from the Echo. It was in the smoke. One more time is all that's gonna be required. Is it gonna work? He's got it down one more time. Unbelievable. They are gonna get that plant down. Those two Echo hits were. I mean, I said perfect, but not quite. Unbelievable that he was able to get that great heads-up play there by Ace to get that diffuser down 3 times in a row.
Yep, now, of course, they do. Oh, shoot. Engage to take Shiva off the board with a dome piece shot, holding and waiting. And you saw all those red pings going out. I mean, all of that intel, and they just weren't able to capitalize on it. It was definitely a huge round in favor of the attacking team.
Whew, wow. Okay, so we go into, and say Cafe generally defensive-sided, but we talk about in the current meta of Siege and the fact that we've got a couple competitive teams that sometimes it just falls back on which team plays the map better, not so much the generic rank statistics. So right now, Coastal, that was a great setup there, and there's a reason that we talk about the 2F sites being the tertiary on Cafe is because they're generally not the better one. So felt like Team Sesh went there intentionally, A, to maybe throw off the Coastal Gaming team, or B, to get it out of the way, right? Now they can go to their potentially preferred sites in the third and first floor following, and might be able to come away with 2 wins and feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I would like to see the 2F site played again, but I'd like to see it this time with a little bit more intentionality up top, right? Bring the castle, bring the Mira, and really dig yourself in. Well, there's the castle right there. Really dig yourself in to that 3F location. Force them to come force you out of that verticality. And I think that potentially that might go in the other direction. Coastal Gaming comes up on their first dub on the first round of the first half of this map.
That's right. It's gonna be a best of 1. Not gonna get to see any other maps here between these two teams. You're gonna have to wait until the next play day to catch them both. The game that follows this one is going to be the Temper. Wow, look at that. I was gonna say Temper versus Task Force, but who got taken to task? Kaid there. Another great shot from the DMR coming out.
No kidding. You talked about it. Devastating in the hands of the right person. We can just ask Onigiri holding that record for most kills in a round. I think, what was it, 27 or something? And did it off the back of that DMR. Holding the long angle. Might come up if he was still looking at it. Unfortunate the timing on that one. Gonna miss out on getting that kill. Shotgun from below. Jeez, playing aggressive on the hatch. Not afraid to take the swing, Whiskey.
Nope, and it was a dangerous push in there. They've got one of these up. The Mute Jammer coming out and forcing the drone to take the long way around, but they can definitely see his feet, and that was resighted, dropping there with the DMR, holding this angle. The Siege timing!
Oh.
But what a shot there to clean it up. The flick. Mute was not in that position, thought he was going to get a shot on resighted, but the flick there absolutely tearing him apart.
Ooh. The peak from Cocktail going to take Recited off the board. Stoggle finds his dome piece, now puts us into a 3v2. Still got a whole minute left on the board. That's plenty of time, plenty of seconds, plenty of seconds still on the board for this attack team to suss out where these last 2 defenders are. Seems they've got a bit of an idea on Toggle as the grenades were coming in, trying to dislodge him from that Cocktail position. Oh, jeez! Ow, he just being crazy on the double! Russ! Okay, push him with the Cali.
The viewers called it out as well. Cali on Cafe? ? But apparently, Russ knew something that they didn't know, that he's a demon on that long rifle, and shows up there at the last second to grab a double. Great shots, and You talked about it. You wanted to see him go back to 2F. Well, here it is. They're going to go back. They're not going to bring the castle, though, but they are bringing a separate, a different lineup here as they try 2F again.
Yeah, well, great adaptation here, as they brought a little bit more area denial to help with that kind of early aggression that Coastal Gaming was showing. I like the call here. We're going to see Russ on the Cali again. Well, how many did he pick up on that last one? 2 or 3? Really effective use of that Cali.
It's unusual you find a competitive main running Cali, and the interesting thing is, right, we saw Russ playing on the previous map on Oregon. I don't think brought out Cali once, so that must be a 3F Cafe special because he's going to switch off to the Jackal at this point.
I love the Jackal call, right? Especially on a map that's as kind of set up the way that Cafe is, right? You drop, or you push in through the basement. Either way, we're do top down or bottom up clearing for this 2F site. And Jackal is huge for that because he turns on the gadget. He just takes a quick look around in the room. There's no footprints. He can clear a room without actually having to go in and clear every corner. Because you can see if somebody's been in here. So I like that adaptation here by the attacking team as they continue to try to keep that momentum in their favor.
And what a roam game, too. The fact that they're bringing the roam clears here going to make it very difficult for Team Sesh to be able to have a big roam in place. You've got the Dokkaebi and the Jackal. It's rare you see both of them played at the same time, let alone available. So definitely going to make it difficult from Team Sesh to be able to have that.
So they've got those feet holes set up and ready. Head level to take you down coming up that red staircase. So it's going to have to be a little bit of an alternative entry point for the attacking team here. Warden's still holding up onto that top floor, getting shots from Skylight. Dangerous position. Ooh, look at this little bit of deployable.
We've seen the deployable come out closer to the window. That seemed like a really dangerous spot, but I like this one. View of the Skylight, being able to watch the drop and able to put a little bit of pressure on, holding these upper angles. We've definitely seen a tremendous amount of vertical play. We are in the age of verticality in Rainbow Six Siege, so we see it all the time. And so far, I haven't seen it make a big impact here yet. It's been mostly engagements on the same floor. Not a lot of vertical play yet, but my guess is we're going to see that change, and Sesh going to go ahead and get crazy, but the run out traded out quickly by Recited, covering this long angle into sight. It was a good hold. Going to be able to get Diffuser, and my guess is going to be able to get cams as well.
Take a couple shots through, not able to connect with anything as there's nobody, of course, standing there. We're equalized on the body count here as we see 45 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be the call to go out as they suss out this last little bit to try to get in and get a plant down. Be Smoke to take a little bit of damage, but he lives to potentially die again. And here you called it. Gonna get those cams, opening up several avenues here into that reading or into that fireplace bomb site area. It's gonna be it's gonna be a plant on the window, cross set up. 4-4 for a plant. This could get really intense really quickly.
We got 10 seconds left, and there's still this many players still in the lobby.
Shiva ain't better to find it. Ooh, the C4 to claim one as Shiva finds a double now. One on top as they take Warden off the board. Shots from below, and it's going to be the defender win. Or from above, not from below.
That's right. Engage going to grab a double. A bit of an empty frag there. Did not have the positioning. Not ready to be able to take a wind. But, you know, just add in a little bit and make him feel just a little bit better as the defenders take one, but getting a couple pot shots there at the end.
Yep. So that's going to be the first of the round to rotate, done data, which means we're going to see 3F once again here in the lineup. We're going to take that. And they're going to switch up the defense yet again. Going to remain with some DMR action, but we are going to see the castle back on the board. Legion to help kind of slow him down, and he's been really useful since his rework, right? They came to Shoddy, so you don't have to waste your impacts on making rotates. Now the Legion Goose do impact damage. I think it's 12 after the first one that you step on. The next one is giving you 12 damage. And we have seen, believe it or not, a ton of goo kills, right? Stepping on the goo in the last couple of seconds on a low health scenario. Bob's your uncle takes him down.
That's right. We thought about whether or not it was going to be a bit of a buff or a nerf, the fact that they were entirely visible, but I think we've definitely settled that at this point. The Legion Goo, I've seen more kills with the added damage and the visibility than we did when they were, you know, at least partially invisible.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Russ can be back on that Cali. Could potentially come up huge here again. Just a demon with a long shot.
Well, we said it, potentially a third floor pick. So here we are going back, the defense going back to 3F. Russ bringing out the Cali in response.
Now they did see a run out from Piano on this last round. Oh, and so we're going to have Resighted be holding some of those long... Oh.
Wow. Almost.
Just potentially having one.
Who was it that was running across that window in a dangerous position?
I have no idea, but they got an angel watching over them today. Yeah.
Yeah, Wamai.
Oh, go ahead.
Wamai, I think it was Wamai that ran across that window here to try and hold this pixel position, but hold it without the shield. That's the interesting part. Normally you got a shield in this position, but them opting to bring the impacts and the bulletproofs instead, a pair of bulletproof cams.
Not too shabby. It's going to be Aruni to take a bit of damage as she WASDs her way out of there. And look at this angle towards Pixel. Just ready to do some damage should Wamai chance a peek over there off the Pixel. That's one of the dangers about not running the deployable, right? Is you all of your lower body accessible to that shot through. Oh, ooh. Geez, Flash is ringing in. And look at this. It's going to be the run out. They are going to find it onto Resighted. Now takes us into a 5v4. With a minute left on the board. 20-second meta full in effect here, Mr. Whiskey Run.
Yeah, we're seeing the teams get themselves set up in position, but they're long shot trying to force them out of this cigar position. But we got Ace opening up the walls. Hear those Legion Goos coming out. There's 45 seconds left. We still have 7 players left alive. Well, let's call it 6.
Yep, Space and TK both going to find a kill as they start to gain some of that ticket control. It's a back and forth on the vault through and still holding the long angle, looking to find somebody. Man, look at how close these angles are, these hold two, because it only takes one. You see his elbow and take him out, right? It's going to be Ayana on a low health scenario, so a bit of an uphill climb here for this attack team. As they find themselves in a 4-2 scenario.
TK gonna grab a double. The fact that Wamai ran across that window and just barely missed, losing his life, turned out to be the turning point for this defensive team. We're able to see them survive and then take out, grab a double there to finish that round out. Defense grabs one, so we're tied up 2-2 heading into round 5. Back and forth, my friend.
Yeah, a true war of attrition. A war of attrition in a best of one. You honestly, you can't beat that. You really can't.
Look at this, man. They're going back to the 2F again.
I'm telling you.
I love
it. It's that age of verticality, my friend. We're living in it here. Now, here's what we hope to see. They're going all intel yet again, right? Maestro, Echo, the mobile intel of Mozzie, and Valkyrie means they're going to be eyes on every single action that's going on all across this map.
There it is, waiting to get that cam in place over top of that hash. And you got the Echo in place. They were going to win this round. Echo was so close to clutching it up using just his drone previously, the last time they played this site. So look to Echo to make a huge impact here again as we head into the play stage here, round 5.
Yep, one of the highlight picks on the board, going to bring some intel for themselves. Zero and Brava and Ayana, honestly, right? That's an infinite drone, basically. If she stays alive long enough to use it, she is entry, so the potential for her to go out pretty quickly can occur. But if she is, huge. And who do you bring if intel is what you're heavily relying on? Well, the Nook is a really good call here. Oh!
Where was that shot at? That was from top on 3rd floor taking a shot? A little bit of an...
So. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Mozzie.
Yep, so he does find himself. They do go for the pickup there. C4 going to end it all, potentially. Sends it. Not going to find anything, however. And they're going to put us back into a 5-5 as his first full minute has gone off the board. There it is. There's the first kill. Space to find himself missing his face as Mozzie gets relegated to his own cams. Not going to be able to move him anymore, but at least give some pings.
They want the ultra fast-paced game apparently here from this team sesh, but Coastal we saw lost 7-5, potentially a little bit of controversy surrounding that game versus the Hellcat boys, so they're definitely taking a bit slower here as they head into their second game of the night. They want to continue to keep their chances of their playoff hopes alive. And did Brava miss? She's got 2 more shots, but didn't see that she could have easily had the Maestro cam.
And that's the other clutch drone gone, too.
That is unfortunate. A big piece of util there that was available. And continuing to see Nook watch for this position here in kitchen, but that's one of the defenders also playing downstairs. Trying a little bit of a game of cat and mouse here.
Yep, and Ayana going to suss out whoever was sitting inside of there. And we still have got Maestro, 2 actually, Maestro and Echo down here. They've got a little bit of intel, so the shots, oh my lord, and they're going to take that Maestro cam out. Ooh, good knowledge of potentially where that's coming from. The trades ring out as Russ going to find one and Toggle's going to find running off the board. Now takes us into a 4v3. 24 seconds left on the board. It's going to be the spray through. Finds a little bit of damage. Going to find the kill. Now ties us up into a 3-3. Get himself a double Russ from behind. Sheesh.
And they do not know. Echo was downstairs in the basement. He's going to try and deny with the Echo drone again as the option, but... no, we're going to see Engage hop immediately back up and try and get it. The double coming out, but it is not going to take down the planner. He was stuck downstairs in the kitchen, and once again, he's going to come up red. This is exactly where he got taken out the last time.
Yeah. Because they've got the cross set up, this is something they planned for. They knew that the Echo was off-site. IGL called get in, plant, hold it. Nook is down, so technically find ourselves into a 2v1, and now it's a 2v none as Russ gonna body shot Sheba right out of this round.
Wow, I can't believe that we saw this 2F location come down to the exact same play and the exact same result. With Ace getting the plant down, Echo being the only one left alive, trying to deny the plant, using the drone, and then ultimately and unfortunately not being able to convert that into a round win, losing his life on the red stairs. 2 times back to that site. It's just interesting that it ended up with that close of a result.
Yeah, no kidding, both times. Okay, Whiskey, it's the last round of the half here, my friend, and it's looking like it's an attacker half as Coastal Gaming up by 1 here. And we have seen Cafe kind of in this new meta go that way, right? It can go, it can be defensive sided. Well, mostly it's defensive sided, but it can have that attacker read, especially if you have some mechanically skilled players who are ready to make that huge push in. And that's kind of what it's looking like out of Coastal Gaming here. They're going to feel pretty good about going into their defense, unless Team Sesh is going to be bringing that same aggression on attack. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, though. This is a team that we've watched get real aggressive on some really good teams. So this definitely has the potential for it.
Got Mozzie playing over there in this this position. Look, I was gonna say potentially looking for a spawn kill. Gonna back off of it for a second there, and are seeing the attackers take a little bit more cautious approach as they get close to the building this time around. But what I was hoping is we're seeing this the reading rather than mining, and it's got the potential for a quick plant, but it does not appear we're gonna see this this Coastal Gaming take it. Try and go with that strategy. So clearing out one of those Mozzie pests so that way Brava can keep her drone, although it gets shot immediately.
Dang. Rough. That's 1 off the board. She only gets 2. But as the first minute starts to tick away, we see the attackers start to find the location here of each defender. And what they're doing is they're trying to find which one is alone, which is the gazelle for this pack to try to fall upon. But buddy system being implemented real here, Warden, or real well here. Warden back on the shield inside of Cocktail to hold that long angle onto Skylight to keep that vertical pressure and presence alive. It's kind of looking like as they all line up onto the hatches that potentially we're going to see this come down to a 4v1 on Warden very quickly.
That's right. Well, and you've got space set up as well, but they know where he's at and going to take him down in the piano. So now the collapse on Warden definitely seems like it's going to happen. Toggle's going to be fighting for his life up here in Cocktail. But the Z's coming out again. Hope that they're going to be able to convert that into a round win. But running, taking him off, going to grab Fenrir as well. That's a triple for him.
And having a great game. 7-2 he sits inside of, or just outside, or inside of 6 rounds. Not bad. A little 1.1, a little 1.2.
It's got it. Badger got a chance to reload that M590, trying to find out who can he take a shot on here. There is footsteps going all over the place, all around him. And the smoke doing a great job here holding these attackers upstairs, trying to find a way. But there, the shotgun and the SMG are ringing out here from Shiba.
Well, it needs to ring out 2 more times as we find ourselves a little bit here on the back foot. Flash is starting to ring out. Going to go up and push this top floor hold. They're thinking that they might have him in a real fish in a barrel situation. Might shoot down from the top. It's going to be the shot onto the hatch where he wasn't paying attention. And now that's a triple for Shiba. 6 seconds left, and now vertical control is being had here and being held. Is he going to be able to get it from the vert? It's going to be the drop down laundry, and he's going to be able to stick this plant. But is it going to be enough?
Oh!
Boom! Break out the barbecue sauce for that 4-piece. Shiba going crazy on the clutch.
Oh,
sheesh.
Turned the wrong direction, and you know you never know. At this point, Brava getting the plant down as Shiba making the push in. You're in the corner, so you got to look either left or you got to look right, and chose the wrong direction there, looking left. And that was just so unfortunate because what a close round. And seeing that plant go down again, this Coastal Gaming team was very objective based, right? That was at least 3 times we saw the plant go down there just in this game. So tied up 3-3. It's the back and forth. It's 2 what feels like very evenly matched teams. So we're going to see how it switches up now that we see Coastal start their defensive half of Cafe.
Sheesh. It's the op swap, my friend, and just like we talked about it, it is going to be the Mira and the Castle coming out here from Coastal Gaming. Usually I like to see that on the 2F site, so I'm excited to see how that's going to play out here in the 3F location. But they are going to respond to the Aruni play by bringing one herself. Warden and Wamai both to help support this Mira play. On the attack team, it's a full set of picks or repicks on the board. IQ to help the Brava suss out the drones. It's going to be the Thatcher and Ace to open up that ticket wall and start to establish some of that piano presence. And of course, Hatch Queen on the board. Oh! Space going to find resighted or instantly as he's going for the spawn peak, and that's going to be a tough one as body balance tips in favor of Team Sesh early.
Well, to be honest, I thought we were going to see running it down here, engaging out that small bake window, trying to find that 4 of those operators together. And yep, Mistrone there from TK was trying to get it up on the roof, but yeah, like you said, Space. Or resighted falling early. That was definitely unfortunate. Out on the spawn peak trying to find one, put a little bit of pressure on this attacking team. They're probably going to feel a little bit emboldened by that early kill.
Yep, I think so. Now they just got to kind of rely on the trade game. What does that even mean? I just make
relax. It was relax and rely combined.
I think you're probably right. Relax. Just relax, man. Opting for the shield on Pixel instead of the my play that we saw in the last one. You make it a bit tougher, especially with that Flores being banned out. Gonna have to rely on a ton of util to take that thing off the board, and not much that they're going to be able to do for that, to be honest with you. Got to get the ace close.
There's the Brava drone coming out and clearing a bunch of this utility. They're going to grab the bulletproof as well. They got it. So now this is a bunch of utility that she's been able to take. And, you know, we called it out, or you called it out there. The shield playing on Pixel, that was a bit of a change. Plus the Mira, Coastal setting themselves up for much more of a bunkered warfare as opposed to the more open feeling we saw Team Sesh approach with.
Yep. And the pixeliest of pixel peaks holding on, not going to be rewarded for his efforts. However, it is going to be engaged to go down as we now put ourselves into a 5v3. 47 seconds left on board. The C4, is it enough? It is not. They open it up, and it's going to be potential shots. Nope, Warden going to go down, and now takes us into a 5v2. And Team Sesh now on pace for a flawless round. They can just find these next 2 kills. You got to deal with the Mira first, though, to find them.
And not just Mira and the Vector, but at least one of those windows was still up. We're seeing Jot playing behind it, but they are certainly getting a ton of utility set up here. Gonna find one. So down to a 4v, a 3v2. That plant is going down again.
That's right, pros don't fake, so he's going to go ahead and stick this. It's a post-plant scenario. Castle takes a bunch of damage. It's from the top, and he's going to find that shot. Shots from White now do a little bit of damage, but the crossfire set up and ready, and that's going to be an attacker win. Sheesh.
There was a couple great shots there. The shot onto the skylight, the hold there, but unfortunately, in seeing him not go down, it was so close. When the attacker swung to take that final kill, I thought he was going to die behind the mirror window, but it required one extra swing. Team Sesh taking that one on attack, and they had pushed that defense back. The defense got much closer than I was expecting them to get, though, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, well, there we go. You're going to see 3F played right back. They said, run it back. The classic phrase here in FPS gaming. I'm not afraid. Run it back. They think they've got the strat to tie back up this scoreline. We'll see if they're correct. I think that they probably are. This is a pretty good lineup if they can not get that early kill onto Resighted in that entry. Maybe go into this situation with a 5-5. Could be a little bit closer of the scoreline.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, he has been an important member of the team on the last map as well. Not exactly the same kill line here, but definitely a gunner. And so to have him off the board early, definitely a loss for this team. I don't think, you know, we'll see whether or not he peaks with the same. Well, he's not gonna peak, but whether or not this defensive team is gonna peak with the same vigor they did previously. I feel like Sesh kind of put them in their place. With regards to that, so we want to wait a couple rounds before bringing it back out.
Yeah, I don't know about put it in place, but definitely said put a little respect on me, right? If you're gonna peak, you better win that peak.
That's right.
Okay, attacking team going with a little bit of intel themselves, and in fact, we're going to double up on it. Both the Grim and the Lion involved here, which means it's going to push up White and just start to get active very early. The oh my lord, finds one quickly. Oh, but gets traded out now into a 4-4. It's the shots atop White. Pre-fires. Mira going to find that kill, so now body bounce goes in favor of Coastal Gaming. C4 goes out, but not going to find anything. It's going to be TK Sesh looking towards the top here.
That's right. Some very aggressive play here from this attacking team, and it does not work out this time. A lot of great shots coming out, and that runnings rotate there down at the bottom. White to claim 2 defenders, or at least cause the death of 2. That was huge, losing Ash and Toggles there. Those are some of those entry fragging ops, and you lose some of that vertical from Buck. And if you were planning on Ash as the clear for the mirror windows, no longer an option, so those pieces of utility are going to be difficult to clear here from the attacking team now.
Probably going to have to send in the fire.
I'm reloading.
Okay, 4v3, it is recited on some low health scenario. Yet again, that mirror window has been broken open, so got a little bit of that sight line, a little bit of that head hole action, and it's the Flames that we just talked about. Shots from Cocktail going to take down, bounce into a 1v3 as Coastal Game and finds himself heavily up in the scoreline, all resting on the shoulders of TK.
I don't think that Badger saw that. Like you said, drop the fire, run in, and he sprinted towards Cocktail, but the defender was up on top of Cocktail, didn't see him run in, so it was an easy kill as soon as he went down to plant, and then Engage finishing it off. Round 9, we're tied up 4-4, my friend.
This is the battle that we wanted here for Playday number 2, and it's the battle that we needed, and it's the battle that we're freaking getting. 4-4, we're tied up on Cafe here. Boy, just a back and forth, and I'm with it.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Okay, let's talk about it. They're heading back. They're going to go down to that kitchen bakery area, and they're going to bring out a little bit of some new operators. Malusi going to be on the board, going to aid and add to that slowdown capability of Aruni and Smoke as well, and Legion. This is a lineup that's definitely saying you need to back up and slow down. On the attacking side of it, we are going to see a bit of that intel again, both Zero and Grim. It's just proven to you how important that intel is. We're seeing 2 BPs on the side of the defense, so even though they didn't bring the Valkyrie, even though they didn't bring the Mozzie or the Echo or the Maestro, they still brought 2 deployable cameras to add to that default. Just don't want to lose a bunch of util to the Bravo.
That's right, and Bravo was fairly successful at trying to grab cams here from this Team Sesh side. A little bit more successful than we saw the Coastal Gaming.
Yep, and they're going to get up top and start to apply some of that vertical pressure here. Look at that pixel peak shot from below. He says, do it!
Oh, losing the Twitch drone early. That's unfortunate from the space side. Gonna take some of this defender utility here as long as nobody's watching. There it is. Gonna grab it there. And Jot holding down this VIP area. They're gonna see, did they get that bulletproof cam as well in the lobby? I don't think so. Nope, not yet.
Nope, not just yet. Still sitting 5-5, and just want to point out we've got 3 drone operators on the board, and we've got the potential for 5, right? We could have the Ram, the Brava, the Twitch, the Flores, and the Monty, and that's 5 drones right there. Monty being the walking drone. Imagine an all droning lineup. What map could we even do that on?
One of these maps that's got all of this deployable, breachable floor. Those are the places you'd see the Ram brought out. So here on this 2F on Cafe, trying to open up some locations here, but maybe on Border, you got tons of that breachable floor as well, with a lot of vertical play on that map.
Team Sesh gonna find their first kills, reciting them taken off the board to the DMR. It's going to be a pretty huge pick. As Legion, his gadget, you got to be alive for it to continue to build up. So not going to be able to have gotten all of those Legion blues out just yet. Minute left on the board, Whiskey, and we are still sitting 9 players alive in the lobby. I mean, those trades are going to start to ring out yet again. There's the first one. Is Engage going to find it onto set out of the TK? As we even up that score line, taking us into a 4-4.
Yep, trying to find this location that not a lot of vertical presence that this attacking team can get on them. And there, a couple of these, the smokes coming out going to prevent the drop. They've still got 27 seconds, and he's got one more smoke. They're going to have to drop in the smoke, toss a couple flashes at him, but it's going to take one down with the smoke, leaving it all up to Space, who is sussed out there in coat check.
Yeah.
Russ on the battle of the DMRs this round, my guy.
Hey, I'm with it. I like it, right? The DMR, the long distance devastation. It is a one-shot headshot game, so you can do it with any gun, but it's mighty impressive when you've got the DMR behind you. So now Coastal Gaming 1 round away from putting themselves on that match point scenario. And they're going to try to do it from the 2F location back to Fireplace and Reading.
I do think this is some of the most 2F site we've seen. We talked about the fact that a lot of the maps had moved towards vertical play, with some of those traditional tertiary sites making their appearance as the primaries, right? Chalet being the most the best example of that is the first floor sites really taking over as the primary sites in North American competitive play at the T4 T3 level. But now Cafe was a lagging indicator, right? We were still seeing third and first floor being the primary, but I'm definitely seeing an increase in 2F. And I'm wondering if that's just, again, the shifting of this vertical play meta coming out.
I'm hoping so, because it adds that new experience, right? It adds that new gameplay. It's that adaptation that makes it tough for attacking teams to get a hold of. It makes them reactive instead of adaptive. No, it makes them reactive instead of active. Jeez, adaptive. Gotta be adaptive if you're reactive, right? No.
Certainly they are, my friend, but yeah, that's just interesting that we saw that so much on, and you know what, the other map was Border, seeing a lot more of that first floor play where it was not always 100% of the time Armory Archives as the starting site, and that's a relatively recent change as well.
That's a little bit of a different scenario, right? Because Armory Archives is kind of like that, as Naj would say, that unplayable side of Cache and CCTV, right? It's a site that everybody has played 100 times. So everybody has got strats for it. Everybody's got their way to attack. Everybody's got their way to defend it. It's very equalized. It can go either way. And I feel like 2F on Border is that exact same way. So we see the rise of the first floor. The jump out! Claymore going to claim his life as it equalizes up that numbers. IQ off the board, and that's a huge pick, right? Because now that's the Fenrir's not being able to be located, and the Mozzie's not going to be able to be located for Bravo, who's trying to take some of this stuff. Look at this. Inside of Coastal, switches or flips around to the back, but not going to be able to find the kill. What a freaking flick. It does get followed up for the refrags. Now we find ourselves into a 3v2 scenario. A lot of top floor control now had as the defense. Still, I mean, it's still winnable, but it's a minute and 11 left with the body balance being in favor of Team Sesh, and Fenrir on a 5 HP in a dream scenario here. He's got to find it from the long angle and catch somebody unsuspecting, or it's only going to take one bullet to put it down. Sheesh, what a play.
We're getting down to close to the end of this round, and seeing Brava still have one of those clutches coming out looking for this any of these defender gadgets, but right now nothing, saying that the default plant is clear. No gadgets, no Fenrirs they got to worry about, so I expect we're going to see Ace coming down right now, getting ready to plant this one.
Yeah, so this is the reason that we see that that 20-second meta, right? Brava still on her drone, still trying to suss it out, still trying to make sure that they didn't suss out Pillar, though. The drop down, Engage gonna find himself 2, and just like that, the body balance shifts back in favor of Coastal. It's a bunch of damage onto the Ram, and Engage to find himself a triple to clean it up. Didn't suss out Dark and paid heavy for it.
Wow. Guys, drone, please, I'm begging. Jeez, this whole night has been an interesting mashup of all chat. You know, both supportive, accusatory. It's been all over the place, and some fun stuff. So now we head ourselves into the first match point between these two teams on Cafe 6-4 and Coastal Gaming on defense on Cafe, and they're going to take it upstairs to this third floor site to hopefully win their game and go one-on-one on the night here.
Yep, they need it. Team Sesh got to be perfect for 2 now on this match point scenario. Headed back up to 3F, and it's going to be Slowdown City, right? All 3 on the board, Castle, Mira, and Aruni, all operators designed to say, hey, you need to slow down, bud. I like this. It's not a bad setup for the defense, especially one as aggressive as Team Sesh. I'm gonna bring some similar ops to the board though, so they're gonna try to be doing some gadget cess out here. Now, did they see the mirror? Because all they brought was, oh no, okay, they've got the Hibana. Hibana can do the trick.
Space going far, far back there, and this is, not the usual path we see the operators take coming out of Christmas and running, looking for that kill, but they are on each other. Gonna see it happen? Yeah, they're gonna fire at that window. Space saying somebody was definitely there, but not gonna catch them. Good call there on the attacking team, walking back, playing life. I mean, you're on match point. No need to be overly aggressive at this point.
That's right. Find your entry, rely on the trade, and then potentially win it out here. Wouldn't mind seeing Team Sesh make up these 2 rounds and give us our first OT of the evening. But I think it's all going to depend on who's going to get this opening kill, right? It's a bit of the pattern that we see. If you get the opening kill, you got quite a bit higher chance to win the round. Is obviously you just got to rely on that trade game to see yourself through. Not always the case.
No, we have seen some notable exceptions, and not 100% sure whether or not this one is going to be one, but there's that Kludge drone coming out, just stealing util. It's loud, it's annoying, hearing it happen. The combination of the IQ plus the Brava, exactly what they need. If they're able to get one of these magnets down as well, going to make it easy to get some of those flashes in, and we have seen the flashes be incredibly impactful here and during these last couple rounds and games of Siege we've seen.
Smoke goes out to block off that mirror, so for a potential drop coming down. A potential push-up. Not a bad play here, so we do sit with body balance sitting in favor of Coastal Gaming here, and now they find TK off the board, and that puts this attacking team on a bit of the back foot. It does get traded out. Traded out as the double rings. Now all of a sudden we're equalized up here into a 3-3 scenario. It's still 54 seconds left, and there's going to be the shot. Now taking us into a 2v2. I told you, trade game going crazy, Whiskey. Now, well, Mike takes a bit of damage, but he's still able to preserve his life. They're looking towards that pixel. He's holding on strong to that critical push point, and that's going to be resighted now to find the double. It's all on the shoulders of Space. It's 5 HP in a dream, but it's going to turn to a nightmare as Coastal Gaming going to find that dub in this best of 1.
Wow, what a shot there at the end. 7-4 to finish off that map. I thought it was going to be close. I mean, it looked like we were going to see Team Sesh come back there. A lot of smack talk back and forth between these two teams, but in the end, 4 in a row for Coastal Gaming to finish that one off.
All right, folks. Well, that's 2 down, 1 to go, my friends. So sit back, relax. When we come back, it's going to be the stunning conclusions to Playday number 2 here in PAC Premiere. Ayo.
Let's go.
What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. It's Group Stage Playday 2 here in the PAC Premiere, and we are bringing you match number 3 of the evening. I am still the Reverend Whiskey Glitter. With me is still my partner and co-host, Mr. Whiskey Run. Would you say hello, Whiskey?
Welcome back, everyone, to the Phoenix Amateur Circuit Premier Spring Tournament. And we're here on Playday 2, and we've already been through 2 games so far. We got to see Coastal Gaming twice, see them take on the HELLCAT boys, go 7-5, losing that one unfortunately, but coming back and redeeming themselves against Team Sesh, going 7-4. So now we get to see a new set of teams. We're going to see Temper versus Task Force 141. And there's the Temper team we are very familiar with. We had a chance to cast them in Zenith. We had a chance to cast them in 3Z, both qualifiers for those. And we're getting a chance, and Task Force, you're going to recognize some names, although it's a new collection of people. So looking forward to what we can see this team do.
Yep, absolutely, and I'm excited for it. It's going to Clubhouse, my friends, and we call this the Great Equalizer, right? Why? Because it can go both attacker and defensive sided. Some things that look to highlight here, it's a potential chance for some of those off picks, right? We've seen the Hibana band out, making hatch play just a little bit more difficult. We've seen the Monty band out for that dirt push and those hatch drops, especially that generator hatch drop. So I mean, there's potential for some off picks here, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see the other ones we've talked about. Maverick on attack occasionally. That silent entry. Yeah, I mean that would be interesting to see. Temper, not. I don't think we had seen them ban out anything strange, but they were a very fun team to watch. So I wonder. There we go, banning out the Hibana. That hard breach, you called it.
Yeah, what does that do? That forces you to use somebody like Maverick, somebody like Ace. Ace can only open one hatch if it's barricaded fully. So you got to rely on more of that silent entry or some of those can openers. Doe could be the standard ban because everybody likes to flank on this map, right? This is definitely one where the flank is real and alive and prevalent.
Yes, exactly. And there's that Fenrir coming out. And what do you think? Solus going to be the one?
I mean, it almost has to be. We could see the Valkyrie, we could see the Mira, but on a map as like kind of closed together as Clubhouse is, it's the potential for the runouts. It's the potential for seeing you on your phone droning from inside. It's definitely the big pick here.
Yep, you called it. There she is, Solus coming out there. So now we head into round 1, Temper versus Task Force 141. So Unstoppable. We've seen him as part of the 1 HP team. And Gugs, we've seen Gugs on many teams going all the way back to our GNL days, my friend.
That's right. Back to the start. Back to the beginning, my friend. So, yeah, star-studded lineup here on both sides. And we're going to head down to the Church Arsenal Holt for step number 1. I'm going to see pretty good lineup here out of the defense. Highlight player here is going to be the Azami, Valen, bringing that trench warfare. And a lot of times we see this set up to where she's holding that corner deep by the dirt tunnel, right? You'll see a Kiva barrier go up to protect from hatch and then just set up. When you can see all of B from there, you get a look into generator and you can hold the dirt area from it. So it's a real critical push point. And so, yeah, Azami being one of the highlight plays here. Now, if Mirror's on the board, we're, of course, going to play here. One of the other things that we didn't talk about, if the Hatch Queen is banned out, what does that mean? That means Ying. Ying going to be on the board, and if she's on the board, she is going to be utilized a ton of time, and we're going to see her on round number 1.
Thought we might see a spawn peek there from Hectic, but no, not going to happen. Going to take his time and wait. Going to potentially come up from these red stairs, but Gugs and this team ready for it. They're going to toss the drone down, catch and see if anybody is playing in Lounge, in Swamp, or in Secret as they're trying to figure out where all these defenders are playing. As this, they only get 7 rounds potentially to figure this thing out. Maybe a few more if they get lucky and win some. This is a best of 1, so this is it. No multiple maps in play to try and figure out how your opponents are going to be playing.
Yeah. Absolutely. And on the attack side of it, let's talk about it. Ying on the board can be held up with Capitao as well. He brings those can openers, but can opt for the flashes instead. No impact EMPs, however, on the board to deal with the Cade Claw. So I mean, I don't know. Could be a little bit tough to get some of that vertical presence set up.
Yeah, I think you're right. Got the Thatcher in place here. They're going to open that one up, so they've got Moto open, no problem there. They're going to need to get this Ashe downstairs and hopefully take a shot on a couple of these mirror windows because she's the main counter. They don't have the Twitch.
I'm a dummy. I didn't see the Thatcher.
Well, you know what? We are almost, well, let's see, go 3.5 hours into the cast tonight, my friend. Catching all of these Playday 2 games happening live on stream. And happy to be a part of this PAC tournament. And yeah, glad we could broadcast it. But the other thing is, glad there's a lot of Siege you could be watching. We're glad you are here with us tonight as we see the C4s going out. The Azami coming out and blocking off some of this. And look at that, dropping the perfectly timed impact and taking out that Cade Claw is still deactivated by the Thatcher, but was able to knock off that can opener. So now they know Buck is there. He doesn't have one left. The only one left that's got one is Ying.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter. There's no more Thatchers. And then Thatcher dies, so that's going to be Gugs off the board. As now the body balance does tip in favor of Temper. It's 16 seconds left. We're living full force inside of this TDM, or this 20-second meta. Does get the trade out. Smasher going to find one, and now puts us into a 4-4. 8 seconds left, and it's all pushing in.
Oh,
the trade comes out
no!
to TK. Going to be unfortunate, swinging onto the bar. It's going to be Mir to find it now. That's going to be a defender win. Wow. Wow. Defense did a great job of setting the pace for that round, really just not allowing the attackers any sort of space, any sort of movement, any sort of real estate outside of that 2F take.
Oh, yeah, you called it. The fact that the TK coming out, they were all stacked up around that Moto hatch, trying to push their way into church. That was really unfortunate to lose that and lose a TK in process. Ouch. Yeesh.
Yeesh. Okay, well, let's take a look at it. Gonna head up to that gym bedroom site now. And a classic setup here. We are gonna see the Valkyrie come out for some of that intel. I do generally like to see the castle here, but not, of course, completely necessary. But one who is, if she's on the board, we're rocking Mira on gym and bedroom. And she's going to be here full force. Still going to see that Azami again. How did we see her played last time? It was set up in that master bedroom area. A couple of Kiva barriers on some critical push points made her very difficult to push. Now, are we going to see something coming out to deal with that? Yes, we are. Flores going to be on the board, and he is essential for taking out some of that critical, or some of those extension utils, allowing access and dislodging some of those defensive players from those critical push points.
Abe James setting up downstairs, but no one gonna push into strip as an alternative there. Not gonna find that spawn peak, so gonna see what this attacking team is gonna do. Hectic getting active here again. They've got this wall open, trying to take a shot, and Flores goes down. That's unfortunate there for this attacking team. No, or a limited utility clear at this point, and Karma's going to have to be careful. Looked like Valkyrie was setting up below, ready for a run out, maybe.
And Valkyrie going back down all the way to the bottom of Secret here, waiting to catch somebody pushing in and catch him sleeping. Maybe a C4 on that potential walkthrough. On the attack side of it, yes, that was a tough kill. Flores off the board, Ace next to fall, but you brought the double breach, right? Because when you're playing gym and bedroom, you go for a bit of that split push, right? Take your cash CCTV, then go and open up. Oh, not the Pokeballs. Unstoppable finds himself stopped. as he got chosen from the Pokeball. Gugs now to find the refrag, and it takes us into a 4v2, all resting on the shoulders of Thermite and Thatcher.
Lost just a little bit of his life as he tried to get himself back up the wall there. They're going to open up this next wall. Mira's holding it though, so and they've got no opportunity here for any of the impact there to try and take it off. So they're definitely going to open this one up, but with just the two of them, it is for sure a difficult push in here for this attacking team.
Not impossible. That is the truth. Okay, so, ooh, there we go. Gugs to find another kill as HELLCAT finds his head removed in a dramatic fashion, and that gets a little bit closer to equalizing up this body balance. Oh, now Valkyrie to go down. Now this 2v2 looks a little bit more winnable for Task Force 141.
Boy, this is a turn of events. I thought for sure we were in the position where this was going to work out, but now full white on the Mira. Not going to push it at the same time, though. Going to take a minute and think about it. They had her potentially, but got to watch out with that Vector. It's dangerous from any distance.
That's the truth. When the Vector rings, death it brings, my friend. So a bit of shots here from the highway window as he's holding the angle. See if the pop-up gonna work here. He's pretty close to putting his crosshair placement just right. Flash gonna go out. Oh, and it went down the hatch. That's unfortunate. Now into a 1v1 as the trade rings out. Plant starts to go down. It's gonna be the shots from Bowser.
Muted!
Take her off the board. Sheesh.
The fake plant on the outside sees Mira rotate around, but great play there by Thermite to swing. Holy smokes, what a shot.
No kidding. And so, Tersh site going to be seen. It's cache and CCTV. This is the site that we talked about. You've heard Naj talk about it, one of our local analysts, how it's a kind of a tougher site, right, for the defense to play because it's fairly routine. Right, everybody has a strat for cache CCTV because it was the primary for so long. I'm curious to see how they're going to make this hold go down. We are going to see smoke for some area denial, and of course a zombie, almost essential for holding that catwalk area if she's not banned.
Yeah, Zombie's definitely one we see banned out fairly routinely on club, but I mean it is a tough toss-up between the Fenrir Solus and a Zombie here on this one. You know what the interesting thing is, I know we talked about it occasionally, but not tonight, is that we have not seen Tubrel played once in 3 games so far on a couple maps where he's definitely got some utility, right? We see him on the hold in Oregon. Cafe not as much, but I mean for sure on club on defense, he's been a pretty important part of some of the holds on these main breach walls. So it's just interesting that we continue to not see him played.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so first minute starting to drift by, and what are we seeing here? We're seeing Capital on the back end. He's pulling out the can openers. He's taking, you'll see him get a top hold, or a top hole, which will give him a little bit of access towards the back end of that, or the front end of that catwalk, and potential to fire out whoever is on the breach when they go to do it. No breach now going to be used here, so probably not going to be super necessary.
They're going to have to try and clear potentially the magnets, though. That's part of the problem is whether or not the magnets are in a position that they might be able to catch the fire. And, oh boy, going to lose 2 to the run out from this defensive team holding and pushing that bottom garage heavily. And seeing this attacking team push garage, but it's a great hold here from the defense setup. Now, the defense on just a little bit of a back foot. The attacking team.
Yeah, and they do find another kill. That's given us into a 5v3. Minute and a half left on the board here. Still plenty of time for this attack team to kind of suss it out. They did get the wall open, so Thermite got his job done, of course, before he was executed. So minute and 20. But yeah, so I guess plenty of time, right? So take a second, regroup, think a little bit about how your next phase of attack is going to go. Drone out your enemy, and then of course, well, don't die. That's the big part of that that's the first part of the plan. You got to be alive for that. It does find the refrag. Now takes us into a 4v2. It's a minute left into a 4v1. Now it's going to be a tough position for Gugs.
Well, we saw this the attacking team get very aggressive, very confident, right? Run down the stairs, but also holding the basement. It's like the attackers could not find a way to attack that didn't involve garage, but didn't bring all of the right assets. I think not having the Monty to push in, I think that was a bit of a problem. But he's gonna grab the diffuser, so maybe go for some sort of a quick plant here, since the defenders clearly have a ton of utilities and resources set up on the garage. They're gonna throw a body at him though and turn it into a 2v1.
That's a tough spot. Now, you got to know that there's somebody on the catwalk. You can see him taking a look, but he doesn't know exactly where he's at. It's going to be the smoke to try to stall him out here the last 10 seconds. Going to have to see some individual heroics here, and that's not going to be the case here. Is Hectic going to find that kill, give the defenders their next win?
Boy, all of the action happening there in the garage. So now we see, we talk about that cache CC, whether or not it's a playable site. I think there's still some debate about that. It is definitely playable from the defense there, as Temper just showed us. Whether or not we saw Task Force bring the right attacking lineup to deal with the way that they set it up is maybe a little bit of a question mark, but it was a good hold from Temper.
Yeah, you're right. And if maybe we see a Monty come out for that next one, potentially, I'd sure love to see that. I love the Monty play, especially on the cache CCTV site. So that's the round rotate over and done with. The first half of the last map. And we're going to head back down to that church arsenal, the dreaded basement area. It's a tougher site to put yourself into. We are going to see Tubero on the board. Tuberao.
Tuberao on the board. I can't believe it. We cast or cursed him into existence. That's not a curse, is it?
I don't know. I guess depends on who's on the receiving end of that, right?
All right, if you're on the attack,
you're pretty good about it.
yeah, the task force is gonna say that I cursed him by calling it out there. I can't believe it was one round after.
That's amazing. Well, the thing is he's so great for holding on to those hatches. Why is that important? Because they're eventually going to get those open, right? It's important because you're going to delay that entry and force some of those alternative entries, which is where the mistakes can be made. If you're used to pushing the hatch and holding on to that vertical presence, that's what you've practiced, then it makes it a little tougher when you've got to come in through strip then to, or through dirt to try to find yourself some more entry points.
That's right.
Be a zombie, the first to fall for the defense. His body bounce is going to tip in favor of Task Force 141.
A little surprised. It looked like we were seeing this this Temper team.
I got that Mira playing down there. I didn't see how they did it on the other site for the other Mira.
She's holding church wall.
They did it into sight from blue. So one into blue and one out of blue.
Yeah.
Really going to try to hold this back area. It's going to be up the ladder here for Hectic as he's going to try to maybe potentially put himself on a bit of a flank, but if he's not careful, Smasher going to do exactly what his namesake says and find him one.
That's right. Oh, no, Hectic is on the huge rotate. Makes it up.
F real estate. Body balance heavily tipped in favor of Task Force 141 as they find themselves up in that 5-3 scenario. I imagine all the defenders have now gotten back down to sight except for mine.
Yeah.
Definitely on the creep, having a bit of a lurk. If he doesn't get sussed out, could it come up huge on the double?
I don't think he has been, right? They were not expecting the oil pit garage cache construction rotate. I mean, the long way I was going to say, is he actually going to take down Gugs? He does. Finally gets him and opens up a little sight line here into this bar stage area from below. Sure, they know where he is now. 50 seconds left. They're going to have to go up and try and take him down before they can really make a push. James, though, going to take the push up immediately, and there's that plant going down. The red ping's coming out. They for sure know exactly where these attackers are at, but they managed to get it down, but quickly cleaned up by the Tuberao. Rin's still alive. Hectic was finally rotated his way back downstairs.
Jeez. Sorry about that, folks. I had a little bit of a technical issue. Sorry if I was talking over you there, Mr. Run. I lost all game sound.
You know what? It worked out okay. It worked out okay. We did not lose you, and I don't think the stream suffered as a result. So now, as we roll ourselves into a 3-1 Temper defensive lead, Task Force. I've got one on the board, not bad. Definitely gonna want to find another though, as they try and find a 4-2 half on this map.
Used by attackers.
Yep, not wholly unexpected on the defensive side of it, right? We said it could go either way. Kind of depends on who's setting the pace of the match here. And it seems to be so far that the defense is just doing a better job at stalling it out, right? If you live in that 20-second meta, that 20-second meta relies on you being prepared for the drop at that point. But if you're still having people that are lurking and coming up around on the back end, when you're getting down into that last 20 seconds for your push, that's when things can get a little bit dicey. Back to Gym Bedroom for round number 5.
I'll be honest, I really wanted to see the huge flank from Hectic. I was, not that we've got any favorites in the cast for sure, right? The casters are unbiased, but I love a good flank play, and that one was all the way across the map.
Oh my gosh, Whiskey, we are 1 follower away from hitting our 1,000 follower mark, triggering the hat giveaway. I just want to say real quick, a thank you so much to everybody that's sitting here watching with us today. It's just an absolute pleasure to be able to bring you guys some Siege, because it's one of our favorite things, right? It's definitely one of the highlights of our day is getting to cast some Siege and bring it to you. So thank you so much. 1 follower away. We hit the 1,000. We trigger the hat giveaway. That's Bolo, Pangu, Spirit Spoits, Kino, just a bunch of great names.
If you want,
oh, go ahead.
That's right. If you want their autograph for your own, that's it. We're giving it away for free, just for being a follower and a friend of the Siege Double Shot. So check it out on Twitter for that giveaway. I can't believe we're 1 away, my friend.
No kidding. Unstoppable going to find the first death as he's 0-4 and greets death like an old friend. That's body balance tipped in favor of Temper here as they do sit in that 5-4 arena. Now, we did bring the floors back on the board. He died so early the last time he was brought out that he wasn't able to be effectively utilized against this Azami. Speaking of Azami, good night. She's taken down, and that's a huge kill because she's got to remain alive to be able to produce those Kiba barriers. So anything that's out, that's where it stays. Not going to be utilizing all of them here. Me Smasher coming up from the basement. Having a little bit of a lurk.
Yeah, trying to get himself up these stairs, and whether or not the defending team knows that he's there. They've got a couple of these Velk cams out, so it's possible they could find him, but it does not feel like, based on their positioning right now, that they know. Oh, never mind. They're Hectic looking like he's got a beat on him, and Rin 47 with the double question mark. That Vector ringing out. Another drone goes down. This team is getting a little bit light on players as their Gugs falls as well. It's a 4v2. Another C4 goes out. The smoke, the flash coming out, and no, gonna grab. Okay. I thought we were gonna see a double there through the Mira.
Not going to be the case, though. Finds 1, however. Puts us into a 1v3. Oh, nope, into a 3v none. His defender's going to take another round and put us up on that 4-1. And here's the deal, right? If we call it defensive-sided, defense doing a better job at setting the pace here, then Task Force 141 feeling okay with their first dub, right? 1 more here would definitely have them feeling good going into their defensive half, right? You want to at least have that standard 4-2 split, but not wholly unexpected here, right? It's not that Task Force 141 is losing the rounds. It's just a defensive-sided map, and Temper playing good defensive-sided Siege. I wonder if that's going to translate to the same on the attack side of it.
They're playing very aggressively too, right? We're seeing Temper runouts, double teaming in some places where, like lots of garage play, like taking chances. So I'm not feeling like they're playing very clean Siege. They're not playing, they've got some of these classic setups, but they're just playing very very aggressive, a little bit wild, and it's working for them, but it's definitely interesting. Not the typical play I think you normally see on Clubhouse from a competitive team, but I think that's kind of making it fun and putting a little bit of pressure here on this Task Force 141 team. Gonna have to find a way to play this blend of contemporary and aggressive siege. Look at that, another shot there on Spawn Peak Smasher, taking a little bit of damage as Valen running away to fight another day, but at least inflicting some of that damage in that first 30 seconds.
Nope, shots at the ankle ring out, not going to find anything, however, as he's looking to try and bait out whoever's sitting in that stock area.
They're gonna... That's unfortunate timing from this defense. They had the mirror window in place to use the impact trick, but she didn't open the window early enough, and the thermite opens it up. That definitely unfortunate.
So we see ourselves tied up here. 2 minutes still left on the board. Couple of interactions takes us to a 4-4. What a shot! Caught him on the rappel, caught him slipping, put him sleeping, and that's going to be the Osa gone off the board now as well, and that's body balance tipped heavily in favor of Tempers. They find themselves in a 4v2. Oh my lord, what a shot onto the Azami.
Gugs, take
Whiskey.
Well, and I mean that was Gugs taking advantage of the fact that that Azami was just running around like crazy, and not not crouching, not hiding behind into that cover, thinking they had a little bit of excess time, but there, Millie Z taking down teammates with the C4. You know what? It's not ideal for sure. Unstoppable. Can he live up to his namesake? Take down this pair of defenders left on what is the final round of the half. He's got to put them in a 4-2 scenario.
Yeah, the tough position, though. They know he's coming from the back end, so the hold on to Logi and the hold on to Master secured. And what weapons do you want for that? The long-distance damage of this AR and the close-quarter combat of the Shoddy. Quite the combo move here for these two defenders. 40 seconds left. Let's see how this one plays out. Unstoppable. Got to live up to his namesake, Whiskey.
And this close-quarter shotgun sitting right there and waiting. Ooh, the... getting a little frozen himself, but that's going to slow down Unstoppable as he tries to make his way through that frozen surface, and they're certainly going to get the audio cues from that as well. And is the DMR going to reign supreme, or we're going to see it happen? He's got no frag grenades left.
Waits, and it's the crossfire setup. Shotgun going to take him off the board, and that's a good night. And that is an unfortunate scenario here, right? They still feel all right with winning one of them, but definitely going to be put on a little bit of the back foot here for the back end of the half. It's 5-1 in favor of Temper as they start their attacking half.
Whiskey, I just got to say it. We're in the middle of what is an incredible PAC Premier Spring Tournament game, our third of the night, but we hit 1,000 followers, my friend.
Did we do it? Let's freaking go.
Trev Mack, a friend of the stream, casted him as part of the Outlast Classics series many times, and as well as some other opportunities. Just a tremendous player, and glad to have him as part of the stream. Looked like he was the 1,000th, so I think we're still. That means it's time for the giveaway. We're going to do that as part of our SI watch party coming up here in the next week.
Can't wait. Lots of big things for the Whiskey Boys, and we appreciate every single one of you being here and a part of it. Wow. 1,000.
Unbelievable, my friend. I know you're kind of, I think, a little bit in your feels, a little choked up, aren't you?
A little bit. It's been quite the journey, my friend. It's been quite the freaking journey to get here. All right, let's talk about it. Temper on the attack part of their half. Brought along the Ying, of course, and it's going to be a bit of a standard setup outside of that. Buck to do some of that verticality. Do some of that damage from below. Mozzie to claim a drone, but not going to be able to be utilized here. It's going to be intel for the defense. Both the Valkyrie and the Mozzie on the board. I'm going to provide some... little bit of damage onto the Mozzie. That was close. He's going to continue this battle. He's not afraid to push forward with this P10. Ready and locked and loaded. It's going to be a bit of the switch around. They know. They just know. Oh, he took 2.7 seconds longer. That means he's going back towards the bathroom.
Yeah, amazing this, and there the pistol coming out, gonna take a shot. No, gonna walk back around. Gugs trying to find a position there, and look at that. Heard maybe an audio cue. No, gonna take a shot over his head. Valen gonna take down Gugs. That's the Mozzie down. So he still got his pests out there, but not going to be able to control him anymore. With a minute 43 left in there, taking that final one off.
Yep. All right, so body bounce does tip in favor of nobody, as Thatcher does go down. Still, of course, retrievable if he can get off of that ledge, get down to the homie who can pick him back up. But currently sitting in that 4-4, and it's going to be Buck swinging in, takes the kill. Legion goes down, gets himself a the spam crouch. Now into a 4v3 technically, as Thatcher hasn't been recovered just yet. It's going to be Cade holding the long angle from below.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
They were able to recover Thatcher, so we move ourselves back into a 5v3 to start to find their way downstairs. So plenty of these defensive assets now gone, done and dusted, and ow, gonna step on that electrified hatch. Still got Thatcher alive though. That was huge that he's able to be picked back up there and gonna be able to deal with these electrified hatches.
Yeah, he's definitely necessary. So body bounce sits heavily in favor of Temper. There's some damage done. Everybody except for the Ace taking a little bit of a little 1-2, if you will, of the bullets, but not enough to kill them. Bits and pieces taken down. Still winnable here for the defense, especially as the last 23 seconds is starting to creep out. I mean, they're still trying to vie for that verticality. We've got nobody down inside. It's 17 seconds. They're going to have to rush everything, and they're going to have to rush it quick. So the defense starting to get a little bit panicky, and there's one to fall. And now the plant is starting to go down. 8 seconds left, and they're going to go ahead and be able to stick this plant.
All up to Smasher, not able to make the jump. Looked like he was trying to go for the vault through the wall and got stuck. Not in the right place, so going to get taken off the board by Ash there. A great job from the attacking team, and they have put themselves match point. Temper going 6-1, my guy.
Holy cow. Just a showing here by Temper. Okay, back up to the gym bedroom. Task Force 141, trying to hang on. They've got to be perfect for 5. And, you know, like we said, we know some of these gunners, right? We know some of these players, so we know that they're capable of the reverse sweep. But it's a tough one. It's a tough place to find yourself in on match point, that is for sure. Castle going to be utilized here. We talked about him not being essential, but definitely being a part of the team here, especially if you're going for that really layered defense setup, right? Layer 1 Bandit, Layer 2 Castle, Layer 3 Mira, Layer 4 Goyo. So I mean, it's a tough set of circumstances. This is a tough defense to get through.
Yeah, the only difference is we're going to be able to see Temper take a lot of chances here, right? They can be unconventional, they can be fast, they can be slow, right? They get completely to set the pace because they don't have to worry about, you know, like losing one round and being out. Whereas on the other hand, Task Force 141 absolutely does. They lose one, this thing is over. So they're going to have to play very conservatively or be very carefully in how they balance their conservatism versus aggression to find what's going to work against this Temper team. And so far, they haven't been able to find what's working yet.
Yeah, not just yet. But now's the chance. Now's the time. They got to do it. They have to find it. If they're going to find it, they got to find it right now. 5-all here as the first minute starting to ring out. The extension into Cash and CCTV. Bandit going to be the first to fall as they put the body balance in favor of the attacking team. Hectic getting active once again, and kills spread pretty evenly across the board for this attacking team. Same on the defensive. Albeit just a bit lower. It's going to be Gugs on the Vector to take Hectic off the board. It's the trade now. It's the refrag.
A double from Guggs, definitely what this defensive team needed. And you're absolutely right. We're not seeing this the incredible standout that we did on one of our previous maps where we're seeing players take 13, 16 kills. Very balanced here. And saw Ash there. Gonna see if she's gonna take a shot on her again. No, swinging, going crazy right now. A quad from Guggs.
Guggs on the quad, now trying to put himself in position to get an ace, and he is right there to do so. This could be it. Oh, man, the shot goes out, but nothing utilized here. Probably going to see him just kind of pad the KD a little bit, right? Take a little bit of time. They've got plenty. It's kind of a faux timeout, if you will. It's a rough situation in a 1v4.
Well, like we said, I mean, they were able to take chances. They didn't have to play conventionally, and they are gonna let Guggs get the ace. What a team! You know, letting him take the push and earn it himself. Well done. It's still match point for this Temper team, but Guggs getting the ace. Let's go.
Yeah, it could be a bit of the win condition, right? Here, have a player pop off, start to get some of that momentum in your favor, start to get a little bit of that pride, a little bit of that confidence built up, and then put yourself into that swanging and wall banging mentality. Get in, click heads, win round. What's win conditions here for Task Force?
Oh man, great question at this point. You can't rely on the individual heroics of Guggs round after round, so that's clearly not going to be the case. I like the bringing out Mira and Kaid and Goyo, like a very similar lineup to what we saw them be successful with previously. That feels like a good change here, and this Church Arsenal site, when it's held, can be very, very good. The thing that I feel like they're missing is the Azami, but if they're not comfortable playing her, then clearly no problem there. They've got the other operators that they feel good about taking. So win conditions, they've got to get all the hatches open. Got to get the hatches open. They need all of those other points of entry into this map, I think, to feel comfortable into the basement. I think if they struggle to get the hatches open, that you know, we're likely to see another Task Force win.
Excellent. We'll see if they can keep that vertical pressure under control. They do, of course, have Cade. They did bring the Thatcher to deal with it, so I imagine those probably opened up fairly easily. Lots of can openers on the board, and, of course, Ace. Potential wall play. I definitely like to open the hatch, drop Church, open it up, and plant behind the bar. Not something we get to see too often. Already got that hot tub window door. Well, they made a door.
That's right. They turned a window into a door now, and yeah, getting themselves set up. And that was, we were on the defender cams there. All of the defenders were basically on cams watching. They were all cleared out almost simultaneously from this attacking team. So they were getting themselves in and ready, clearing out this defender utility, both visual and they were seeing them potentially work on getting the hatches open. Got to keep Ren alive for sure in order to use that Thatcher to get these hatches open. But see, I'm wondering whether or not Muted was going to be going for a Cade trick. Does not appear to be.
Nope, just sitting and lying in wait, and he's got some folks up there to potentially try to contest this hatch. They're going to Thatcher that open. He's going to rotate himself out of there. I thought maybe we'd see a C4 pop up and out once they open it, but not going to be the case.
They're going to be relying on that layers of defense like you talked about. You got Wamai, Unstoppable, playing on the mirror window in blue as the alternative to watching that push into Church. But he's a little bit distracted here with the oil pit drop potentially.
Try again to get that thing open, and there it goes. Hatch done data. Now, it's 47 seconds, folks. This means that the trades are going to ring out because it's 5 apiece. It's going to be drop, and then trade until we find ourselves either with a winner or on to potentially round number 9. Ying starting to scream out, and there's going to be Valen to find Unstoppable. It's body bounce tipped in favor of Temper here. 28 seconds left on the board. Going to start to make that push in, but they're stuck kind of in that Moto area, taking shots, but kind of closed in. going to be some more flashes as Ash unfortunately gets the self-flash. Flashed again. Going to make it tough for the swing, and they're going to find that. And
There's
just
the plant
like that,
going down.
Plant's starting to go down. It's a 4v1, all resting on the shoulders of Muted, who does find one. He finds a second. Now into a 2v1. The plant hasn't gunned down, but that is going to be the attacker win, and Temper going to take it in dramatic fashion.
I thought we were gonna see the clutch up there from Muted. So close, grabbed a double, killed the planter, but he was reloading in the hallway, and definitely unfortunate. Gonna lose out on that one. 7-2 victory for this Temper team.
Yep, dramatic fashion, my friend. Jeez, huge games tonight. They were all so incredibly fun. Really happy to be here inside of the PAC premiere. And man, I just had a blast with this play day.
Same, my guy. And you know, I wanted to talk about it. We talked about it very quickly at the setup that this Temper team was good, and the last 2 times that we casted them as a part of Zenith and the 3Z, they went 7-1, and then in the best of 3 went 7-4 twice. So in the games that we've had a chance to cast Temper so far, they are undefeated. So that was a tough pull there, unfortunately, from this Task Force 141. But it is the very beginning of the league, so they've got plenty of opportunities here to make a comeback and show what they're made of.
Yep, that's true. Oh, well, we did it, my friend. We made it all the way through, and just want to say once again, thank you so much to everybody for the subs, for the follows. For those of you that subbed, enjoy those custom emotes. We've got some more coming to you on the way. And for those of you that followed, thank you so much for helping us get to that 1,000 mark. We got a hat given away here, and if you want to, you can go onto our Twitters. I am at glitter_whiskey. He is at racingengr, where we're going to be doing the promotion for it, right? Standard giveaway setup, do the follows, do the retweets, and potentially the hat signed by Bolo, Pangu, Spirit, Spoit, NJR, Kino, just a ton of freaking big names on that thing. Could be yours, my friends. Got it from the Atlanta Major. It was absolutely a fun time. Jeez.
Yeah. And, you know, just to recap the night, if you were just joining us, we appreciate you being here. There's a lot of Siege you could be watching. Glad you were here with the Siege double shot. So we got to see the HELLCAT boys take on Coastal Gaming. That one went 7-5 in favor of HELLCAT. Team Sesh following up in a second game for Coastal, which Coastal won 7-4. And then that final game seeing Temper take on Task Force 141, which Temper won again in their undefeated streak as part of the Siege Double Shot channel. So appreciate everybody being here. What a night, my friend. Our opening foray into the PAC tournament.
Yep, we did it. And unfortunately, we come to that part of the evening, the dreaded no more Siege. We did it. So it is time, my friends, to bid you adieu. And so as the lights start to dim and the jukebox starts to sing closing time, as always, my friends, you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here.
Heyo!
Let's go.